Welcome everyone back to the Drama Vector. We've got a long show planned for today, a full show with all parts. Don't forget to like the video and comment down below throughout the entire thing. And don't forget I have a Discord, also linked down in the description in the link tree. And I need to fix some of the links in there. I'll do that soon. I'm really trying to keep up, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. I think I'm doing it this time. I've got a really good groove going where I can upload almost every single day. Sometimes I have to take a day off, and sometimes I gotta go to church on Sundays. And I'm opening back up Folly's Game Space, but I renamed it to Follytown Arcade. And I want to do weekly... I want to do daily uploads to that channel, but I'm going to do them weekly and then cut them up into episodes. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get it started with the internet dystopia.
My screen lights up, but nobody's there. Your name still floats in the feed I stare. Thumbprints in glass, like a broken bow. I keep your shadow in my pocket now. Every ping, every blur pulls me under again. I can't tell the start from the place it ends. Internet dystopia, the gentle ghost. Say my name slow, then you disappear most. Internet dystopia, the gentle ghost. We were so alive, now we only
This RL streamer who records and harasses people all day under the excuse of First Amendment auditing was just attacked live on stream. And this happened after he was live streaming himself harassing a family. And I would never condone violence like this, but this is definitely one of those cases of, oh wow, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Congratulations. Because you're essentially a walking,
Congratulations, you're a fucking moron.
talking flock camera, and you're expecting people to just be a fan of that? Gee, I wonder why families are uncomfortable from you filming and harassing them and their kids in bathing suits. It's overall just so unnecessary, but hey, I've recently covered a few of these
Honestly, I think it is necessary. Somebody had to do it, and somebody had to get beat for it, and I am here for it.
First Amendment crusaders who claim that, I guess, filming and antagonizing strangers in public for their social media content
don't do that.
is their constitutional right.
Can you please help somebody else?
Say what?
I love constitutional rights, and I love that we have them, and I love that it allows people to do stupid shit like this so we can weed them out.
If for OnlyFans, you making money.
I'm absolutely making money. Was he in the military?
Yes.
Then he should understand that this is a fundamental right.
Leave me alone.
I'm taking video in public.
Why?
Because I can.
And the people that do it in this matter are some of the dumbest creators I see online.
Yeah, I don't think that your constitutional rights covers you harassing people.
I feel like the whole point of First Amendment auditing is to be doing this kind of stuff on people that can actually abuse the power.
Let me check real quick. Can you film somebody and harass them? Is that a good way to word that? I don't know how to word this. Filming someone can constitute harassment if it is part of a pattern of behavior intended to cause fear, distress, or intimidation. While filming in public spaces is generally protected by the First Amendment and does not require consent, the legality shifts when the recording is used to stalk, threaten, or excessively single out an individual. I got coffee in my mustache. It's hard to read. It's dripping all over the place. So yeah, you can't do that. Your First Amendment right does not allow you to harass people.
Not random strangers on the street or on a boat ramp just trying to enjoy their summer day. Yet some of them believe that what they're doing is righteous or somehow is benefiting society when you're just harassing people and filming people on a boat ramp.
And what was the reason for him harassing the guy? Why was he recording him?
Or, of course, they just use the excuse of, you're being filmed everywhere these days.
Sitting there complaining. If you don't, he said, I don't want to be filmed. I just don't want to be filmed. If you don't want to be filmed, don't go out in public.
That's not how that works.
But I still don't want someone holding a camera and filming me and potentially my kids in bathing suits. It's just very uncomfortable.
I think it only pertains to, like, if you're a background character or if you become part of a social experiment willingly.
And the whole, if you don't want to be filmed, don't go out in public stance is just awful. I hate it. I hate that stance so much because when you pair that with someone who is actively trying to harass and farm reactions, it's just an awful combination. Because at the end of the day,
Also illegal.
the most likely reason this guy's doing this is to make money on social media. And he even brags about it later on that he's gonna film them and make money on social media and they can't do anything about it. Like, this is pathetic behavior. But obviously, based on the thumbnails from this guy's channel, it's clear that he was hoping to catch some sort of blow up on camera. And I really don't think that he thought that it would result in him being rushed to the hospital because he ended up getting stabbed. So today we're talking about a First Amendment auditor by the name of Captain Crunch Boats. He's a YouTuber with about
disavow
30,000 subscribers, whose entire channel is filled with him basically just filming people in public on a local boat launch. So obviously, very important content for the greater good of society. That was sarcasm. But the news outlets covering this have been referring to him as a fishing YouTuber, which is a very generous description of him, to say the least. Because, I mean, if you search any fishing on his channel, you won't really yield too many results. I guess the only kind of fishing this guy does is he fishes for reactions of people after harassing them, so he can then post that.
Yeah, they should have put a PH there instead of an F for fishing.
You know, blow up or incident on his YouTube channel. He just wants people to freak out on him when he's obviously just being weird and annoying towards them. So looking at his channel, it seems like he was trying to farm boat launch fails for people to essentially laugh at, people making mistakes when launching their boats. But then he quickly pivoted into, I guess, antagonizing people launching their boats and kind of harassing them, so he could then farm that content for his YouTube channel. Because at the end of the day, it seems like those were getting way more views.
You're gay!
Oh, why did it make me talk? What the fuck? Damn it. See, this guy is so gay that he made me have to restart my whole setup right here. And now I've got 2 videos I got spliced together. Well, you know what?
You're gay.
You're gay.
And if we've learned anything from all the shocking IRL streamers I've covered here on my channel, people watch these guys often to just see if someone actually humbles them or if they get what they deserve. So essentially, people are just waiting for someone to sucker punch this dude. And again, going through his whole channel is just filled with people who don't want to be used for content, who is clearly just being used for content. And when anyone threatens him, he pulls the whole Chud the Builder move and he threatens to mace them if they get a little bit too close. It's pathetic behavior. And then on top of that, his most popular videos often feature women.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do with somebody like this?
In bikinis,
Yeah, I know what you do. Exactly what happened.
he often refers to as that popular garden tool, the 304. So obviously we just have an outstanding model citizen here. But then also he has these like hour-long live streams where he just goes on rants about car dealerships and how they've snubbed him and so on and so on. So clearly this guy is just not really a happy camper. And overall, I would categorize him pretty much in the similar category as Chud the Builder's content, especially with what we now know happened to him. But it's very clear that Captain Crunch here is no stranger to confrontation, and he actually welcomes it because, you know, that's content for his YouTube channel. And in his mind, he's operating within his rights, which I guess is technically true, but it doesn't make it any less weird to film and antagonize families in bathing suits.
Yeah,
and
that's where it becomes not his rights.
Content for a long time.
Where you lose it.
Years ago, there's videos of people allegedly pulling out knives on him, calling the cops
If they sued him, I think they would probably win.
on him, as well as live streams where he talks about, I guess, all of his lawsuits and current civil cases. And I could only assume that those are probably from his style of content.
If you become a member, you're going to get to see the lawsuits and filings before everybody else gets to see them. But I'm going to do a live stream as soon as I get off here with my members only. And we're going to go over the lawsuits that I'm filing. We're going to go over, because I have 2 of them.
And then on top of that, he's also
That guy looked like he is very unlikable.
Also apparently suing his local police department.
Hey guys, Captain Crunch coming to you with another video. I hope you're having a great day today. In today's video, we have these two dumb deputies here. And my lord, does this get wild. I was actually going to the courthouse to file the lawsuits against some of these crazy voters who think they can just do whatever they want and have no legal repercussions for what they do. This was December 1st of 2025. What ended up happening is I was detained, as you saw in the intro, by these deputies. And you know what? They caught themselves a lawsuit as well.
Meaning, this guy is essentially trying to ruin strangers'
He is a serial sewer.
lives for content, all because they felt weird about him zooming his camera in and out on them while they're just trying to enjoy
And he's also a serial sewer.
their day. But as we also know, I guess when certain people get a taste of virality, people can't quit that. They will do anything to go viral. So obviously he continued this, and it was only a matter of time until something happened. And now he's asking for donations so he can get back into this important content that landed him in the hospital in the first place. But this whole incident that we're talking about right now happened at Clear Lake Dock, where Captain usually sets up and films. This time he was currently live streaming, and of course, after an hour of, interaction with people, a man who was packing up for the day yelled out to the captain something about filming his kids. And here the wind is very bad and it makes it kind of hard to hear from a distance. But
fuck.
based on Captain's response, the father thinks that he said something to his kids about filming for OF. And if he did make that comment, that is extremely disgusting. There is no world.
Yeah, I think at that point that what do you do? What do you do, honestly? Probably call the police. But if the police are stupid, they won't do anything about it.
Where you
It
should
is
be able
right.
to film someone else's kids and make comments about that you're filming for OF. That is beyond disgusting. Like,
I believe that is violence.
what happened
Dude
to
deserved what he got.
basic human decency and civic sense? Like,
Dude doesn't have that. He's evil.
does that just not exist anymore? I guess the potential gain of ad revenue or donations online just makes people throw that all out the window.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense to me whatsoever.
What? I didn't say nothing to your kids. Yeah, I said I was taking video for only.
Okay, so instead of being normal,
So
and
he did
I don't
say
know,
that.
apologizing or stopping, Captain here, he starts to get into it with the family who are rightfully concerned about, adult men filming their kids and making comments about allegedly. And his response was, "Oh, I didn't say it to your kids. I said it to the grown woman standing next to your kids." Right.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
I didn't say that to your kids. I didn't say that to your kids, bro. I said it to the woman in the black shorts right there.
So, I mean, I guess that could be technically true, but, considering
still-
the children.
I think it's the same. I don't think that saying it to the woman instead of the kids, even though they were right next to her, I don't think that there's a difference there. I think dude deserved what he got, honestly.
Were in frame as he
Welcome.
said it, they were definitely close enough to hear him.
Dude is lucky to be alive.
So this isn't a good excuse for anything here. This behavior is disgusting. It should not be accepted whatsoever. And for context, I am censoring the kids here because clearly these people don't want their kids on the
Thank
internet.
you.
How's it going? I'm just taking some video for only. Pardon? I'm taking video for only. No, I'm dead serious.
And the dude made the comment multiple times in the direction of the entire family as they were loading up their boat and packing up for the day. And I'm just kind of assuming that the dad didn't hear about it until he got up and out of the water. And if I didn't know better, I would assume that he wanted them to hear it and have something to say about it so we can film their reaction for content.
I have no sympathy for nuisance streamers. People who want to cause problems for clicks and views. Anything that happens to them, no sympathy. Literally, whatever happens to them. If they end up getting got, that's on them.
But then the family didn't give him the reaction that he wanted, so he then doubles down and says that OF isn't only that kind of content. So the dad gets upset and gets in his face.
I told her
Everybody
exactly
knows.
what I was doing. What are you? I'm taking video for only. Like I said. Kids? There's kids here, you dumb. I told
Nobody knows that OnlyFans is for other content, and it's not even really.
her. I said it didn't have to be that kind of content. I told him exactly what the I was taking video of.
Don't fucking play games. We all know why you were saying that. You were trying to get a rise out of them, whether it be true or not.
Yeah, there is, you dumb piece of. Yes, there is. Come on. Nah, man, I'm good. Hold my bro. Problem, dude. Come on. You're gonna back
Get
up
him.
from me, bro. I'm gonna
Sir.
Don't come at me with him.
No, but come on.
He's not.
We're just trying to keep the
Tell him
peace.
to move around.
Right.
You're looking for only the family
This
boat.
is not an OnlyFans.
This is
This
for
has
only, bro.
Dude,
I'm
seeing
gonna-
the shadows.
It's YouTube.
Fucking great.
It doesn't matter.
So then things start getting heated, and the father claims that he wants to knock him out for
He shoulda.
mentioning about filming his kids for an adult site. So then this
He should have punched the camera out of his hand and then knocked the dude the fuck out.
genius free speech warrior here says, yeah, I'm filming your kids and I'm gonna put it everywhere.
It doesn't matter. It's a it's pay for content site. It doesn't have to be what y'all think it is. You dumbass. You said only.
Can you film
Yeah.
kids in public?
My kids in your.
I'm gonna put it all over. It's going everywhere.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Hey,
It's going all over the internet. All over the internet.
So if your goal is to not get hurt, those should not be words that you say towards a father, ever, or any family man or head of the family. Because it's safe to say, people have gotten very hurt for saying less. And it goes without saying that you have to be quite the disturbed individual to joke about putting someone's children in bathing suits on adult sites. Like, that is beyond disgusting. And obviously, I don't think he was filming for OF. I think he was just trying to antagonize the guy and get some sort of reaction that he could farm for social media content. But still, the dude's disgusting, and this kind of behavior should absolutely be shamed. But obviously, he knows that if someone tries to swing on him or
Filming with predatory intent for the purposes of exploitation or in a way that constitutes harassment, stalking, or endangerment is strictly prohibited and can result in severe criminal penalties. I wonder if he faced any severe criminal penalties. Probably not.
the cops get called, this is amazing content for him. So multiple other people start confronting him, and then he starts calling the mother a dumb bee and Karen, and starts, you know, going on and on about that he's just exercising his rights to use free speech. Like, this guy is dumb as
You pay for that camera right there. Get on them.
Call the police on him. He's been kicked out for years.
I've never been kicked out of here. Get out of here, stupid. Nobody's talking to you.
hey, he's talking about all and he's putting my kids on their video.
And he's been kicked out.
I've never been kicked out of here. Yeah, I've never been kicked out. I've never been kicked out, you stupid you.
Hey,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Good. I'm glad, because it's freedom of speech, you dumb.
The dude is acting like a complete waste of space here, and
is.
basically, again, that is not a good argument for being a complete weirdo. Like, yeah, congratulations, you can say pretty much whatever you want to in public, but again, that doesn't mean that you're not a freak and that people probably don't want you around them or their kids.
And he's straight up harassing them.
But you guys do probably know how this ends, because the people he was beefing with on the camera actually have nothing to do with the stabbing. Because while he was focused arguing with that family,
Oh, shit, what?
a group of strangers came up behind him and
Oh,
one person
fuck
struck
yeah.
him with a blade.
Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye-bye, Karen. Bye-bye.
You can't, you know, that word around kids. Now I got my 8-year-old asking me what the OnlyFans is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't like violence, but dude.
What the?
hey, not working, man. Not working.
No!
Back up, dude. Get in the car.
I don't feel bad for him.
Hey, get off it. Not working, man. Hey, get him off me. God damn it. Get him off me. Hey, why you stabbing? Come down, bro. Hey, don't do it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I don't know why you just stabbed him, bro.
And here you can hear the moaning and groaning while the people that he was just harassing were rushing to actually rescue him. Because you can hear the woman yelling, put the knife down, while men are telling the attacker
Fucking pussies.
that it's not worth to stab someone. And
It fucking kinda is.
luckily, the cops are already there to deal with this argument, but someone then else calls them back and explains the situation just escalated.
Come on the phone now. I didn't do nothing. That dude's just as bad.
Ma'am, I just called the police with the
Whatever car he's in, get his license plate.
He's not getting arrested, so fuck him. Cops aren't doing anything. So what do you do? What do you do whenever the law isn't on your side? It's on the side of the person who is being a piece of shit.
I said no. As soon as the police officer said someone was on their way,
I'm not one for-
another man in full black hooded gear comes up with a knife and starts stabbing this dude. I just wanted to delete a video, and someone is stabbing him. I'm trying to find you. Right now, walking around the park to myself.
Man, if I would have been there, I would have been like, fucking good. I'm glad he got stabbed.
So currently,
He
people are a
deserved
little bit
it.
confused in why he was actually stabbed, because I guess people just overheard him and overheard what was going on, and that's what the attacker then
Yeah, dude was talking about putting kids on OnlyFans.
decided to do, because from what we know, the alleged attacker had nothing to do with that family. But also, the guy shouldn't really be hitting the surprise Pikachu if an attacker or the alleged attacker overheard all of this
Yeah, he's the Golden Goblin. He's the Loot Goblin.
and decided to do something about it, which is why you shouldn't be doing this kind of content, because suddenly you come across someone who has had enough and just takes it out on you, which is why you should never do this kind of content. You should never harass strangers in public, especially not to this kind of degree.
I just saw that Japanese people are starting to attack nuisance streamers in the streets. Fucking love it. More of that energy, please.
Because suddenly you'll meet someone who actually wants to do something about it. And there is also other speculation that this could be someone that the Captain had previously had interactions with. So we don't know. Apparently this is his frequent spot, so locals are probably aware of him here. Regardless, the stream ended and Captain was then rushed to the hospital and survived with minimal injuries, according to himself. So he then posted to his YouTube page, stabbed once and sliced once, but healthy
YouTube needs to ban this fucking retard.
as an ox, and I was out of the hospital in a day. And then he decided to insult the attacker who couldn't finish the job and dared the next person who tries him to finish the job. And then
What the fuck?
the next day he posts videos
Dude.
of him in
Dude, just doing it for views and clout, even if he dies from it. Absolute insanity. These people are fucking evil, I tell ya.
the hospital, suddenly stating that he suffered multiple wounds and lacerations instead of the one he claimed the day before. And then, of course, he linked a Give, Send, Go, basically a GoFundMe,
Of course.
where he's asking for $25,000 to
Money!
cover medical expenses and the financial burden caused by being unable
Ban
to
this
work in
fucking
film.
retard
So,
from every platform.
oh no, this guy
I get banned from fucking everything all the time, just for words. But people like this dude don't get banned because they're not saying anything problematic. And the platforms, they love violence.
isn't allowed to stand on a boat ramp and harass strangers in their bathing suits for content. And according to news outlets, law enforcement is currently investigating, but nobody knows who the attacker is. And honestly, I mean, it could be anyone, because the dude frequented this area. He's clearly pissed off a whole bunch of people. And as we know, these IRL streamers, we've seen people put bounties on people's heads because they're just sick and tired of people walking around and harassing the public for their own content. It's just a massive net negative for society. I keep saying this in my videos, but I would just absolutely love a reality where we can go out in public and enjoy our day without having to be worried about being farmed and harassed for content.
I love when people are making content in public. I'm fine with kids being in content without consent, as long as it makes fucking sense. If they're like background characters or social experiment or something like that. And if they don't want to be filmed, you walk away from them. You don't have to stop filming. You just got to stop filming them. And if you accidentally film them, that's fine. But if you're doing it on purpose after they don't want to be filmed, you deserve everything that you get after that point.
Without our consent. Is that really so much to ask for? So I guess that's kind of what happens when you play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. So
Hell yeah, you do.
congratulations on that. Hopefully the dude learned his lesson and
He didn't.
stops harassing people in public for content.
No, it's probably he's gonna get a small boost and he's gonna be like, I need to make more content like this.
But from the way he responded to all of this, I don't think he did. So I guess we just see where this escalates in the future. So I guess that was another
He's probably
episode of how
gonna
a
end
IRL
up in
streamer
jail.
effed around, and clearly he found
Or
out. So hey,
dead.
if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like on this video.
Yeah, crazy situation.
Massive day for the unemployed. Jynxzi was right about MrBeast.
He
Jynxzi
was!
one of the only streamers to ever call out MrBeast on his inconsistencies, and oh boy, is MrBeast
You know what I gotta say
truly
about
who he claims
MrBeast?
he is.
You're gay!
Because apparently he's even threatened legal action against Aiden Ross.
Good luck with
Bro, I got a
that.
text about
You know how many Jews he's got behind him?
threatening illegal. Try it, bro. Please try it.
So why is MrBeast threatening Aiden Ross? Well, no, like literally a well.
If $40 million was raised, why is there only one well? I'm expecting a fucking water park. I'm expecting like, bro, you have millions for water. Where the f***'s the water park?
And this is exactly when Jynxzi comes in, because bro was nailing everything.
We're all donating. He's getting all the credit, but we're all getting pressured into donating in front of, hundreds of thousands of people.
And that
Yeah, because MrBeast was coming into people's live streams and being like, hey, you got to donate to this thing. And then his audience is like, yeah, donate, do it. And then you can't say no to that.
Now everyone is slowly coming around and saying he was right the whole time. Aiden Ross is publicly asking where the money actually... XQC admitted the tactics were way too much. And MrBeast's response to all of it? Threatening to sue people for bringing it up.
Why are you bringing it up? Yeah, don't do
August
that. You just make yourself look like a piece of shit.
2025, MrBeast
Which he
launched
is.
Team Water, a charity to raise money for clean drinking water in Africa by building wells.
Yeah, I knew this wasn't going to last long. For one, these people are degenerates. They live like that because they're degenerates. Not really because they're poor and the government's keeping them down. No, they are culturally lesser, and they will deconstruct your wells in order to get things out of it to make money. And you got to keep going back and fixing it, even if people weren't stealing shit. And I guarantee you they were.
And that's the thing, nobody has a problem with Team Water, just how MrBeast handled it.
The problem was the method he used to actually raise the money, because it wasn't a normal fundraiser. What MrBeast did was get a huge group of streamers on a live call, cold add other big names while hundreds of thousands of people were watching, and then ask them on the spot whether they want to donate.
Great project.
And if you said no, you get shamed.
Horrible execution. At points, it felt like MrBeast was straight up trying to extort people, allegedly. MrBeast had this record-breaking fundraising live stream with XQC and Aiden Ross, and
Why didn't MrBeast say I raised $12 million? And why did MrBeast say just did my first live stream? Unreal, dude. I don't know what to say, dude. Why do you not want to mention me?
When MrBeast needed to raise money, he had no issues hanging around Aiden Ross or even people like Eddie. But the second the fundraiser was over, he distanced himself.
Was basically just MrBeast pressuring people into donating to Team Water. Bro, this entire stream. And I join and I just see Aiden and MrBeast. This entire stream, bro, I think this went on for like 2 hours, was one of the most like uncomfortable, like weird streams of all time.
Yeah, these people are fucking weird. Out of all of these top streamers, I think Jynxzi is the only one that I could get along with because he seems like a normal dude.
At this point, we all know that stream was awful, and don't worry, fellas.
I could not hang out with Asmongold.
Got some brutal clips to show you.
Jimmy's hostility stems from having his absolute authority and public image challenged. When a creator's immediate instinct is to block peers and issue legal threats instead of providing basic transparency, it leaves a very specific impression. It looks like you have something to hide.
Which brings us to a recent tweet by MrBeast. Team Water 1 year update. The team is working so hard and making amazing progress. Really grateful to all the creators who supported this and everyone who donated. You are the reason Team Water is able to save lives. Check out the video and see what happened so far. And then he said, yo, Aiden Ross, I'd love for you to watch this on stream.
Wow, what a piece of shit.
But rather than answering the tough questions, the footage was so underwhelming that it triggered even deeper suspicion regarding the Capitol's actual deployment.
Treatment systems and the infrastructure needed to make that goal a reality over the next 5 years.
While the clip displayed some baseline activity, measuring that footage against a $40 million budget makes the output look like a drop in the bucket.
Touché, but I still think this is a crazy claim.
See all that metal? See all the metal that was on that? I bet it ain't there.
To make without, you know, actually seeing the full output and judging this off a video.
Not only did I deserve the answers, but other people in my chat and other people that also contributed and donated deserve answers. So do you guys think, genuinely, that this is $40 million worth? Let's see. Let's see. If $40 million was raised, why is there only one well? What do you mean am I retarded? I don't think it... I'm not saying the Mr. Scam.
Unsurprisingly, Aiden remained unpersuaded by the promotional narrative, maintaining that a $40 million capital deployment should yield concrete, systemic infrastructure rather than a curated montage of cosmetic victories.
That's what he spent the money on, was the video production of the whole thing. I mean, he spent the money on, obviously, building the wells, but I bet half of the money went to the video production.
Curated montage of cosmetic victories. Dude, drop the AI script, bro.
Let's do an audit. Let's see where all the 40 million went. Show receipts and do it a full audit. Why not? If you do an audit, I will apologize.
You know it's serious when a Jewish guy asks for an audit. Anyway, back to some of the greasiest tactics and things MrBeast deployed. FaZe Rug donated $15,000 and MrBeast laughed at it.
That was 0.001%. Let me see.
He doesn't understand how money works because he has so much of it now. And it's not even his own money. It's like company money.
Oh, wait, no.
Dude, these CEOs pretend that they're poor, that all of their money comes from the company. But really all that means is they have infinite money to get whatever they want.
0.18.
$15,000 is still money. He even put Asmongold on the spot while this fool was trying to get some McDonald's.
We know you got a lot of that.
Hey! What is this?
Yeah, there's this charity thing called Team Water where
I remember
every
seeing
dollar
this.
donated is a year of clean water for someone in need. Your friends here were saying you were a very generous soul.
Getting Asmongold to donate to Africa gotta be some kind of like comedy bit.
McDonald's drive-through, man. It's gonna happen to me.
You're putting people on the spot.
Nah.
Hey, they put me on the spot too, man. And now I'm broke.
Now they're trying to get me to donate a bunch of fucking money. 100K? That's a lot of money, man. I should have donated like $400, but yeah, guys, I'll go ahead. I'll lay it down. I should have told them that I would donate the amount of money that I made from Twitch from ads this month. You guys want to know how much that total amount of money would be? The total amount of ad revenue made. Let's see. How much are they getting? $1.78.
Oh,
Nobody.
fuck.
Asmongold's pretty funny for a
Yeah. He is costing Twitch so much money just being on the platform.
57-year-old. They also try to pressure Kai Cenat into donating, but he, ignored all of this, so I guess it
Good.
worked out for him. And
Dude, I have so much respect for Kai Cenat, actually. I saw him beating, what was his name? Is it Rukai for getting high? I love that shit.
the end, but also at the same time, Kai Cenat. I show speed as league.
Yeah, fuck Kai Cenat, but he's like the smartest black guy in all of the younger audience viewers, YouTube, whatever.
It's better. This dude sucks ass.
Kai didn't donate, and the internet absolutely went after him.
Incredibly based. The black guys weren't donating to Africa. Literally the whitest panel of all time. But the worst thing about Jynxzi and all this is that while he was donating and like pledging money, they were still making fun of him, and Logan was basically being a dickbag.
Labeling him the poorest person on the call, despite Jynxzi dropping $100,000 of his own money.
While people who don't have money watch this.
Not to be a bro, but there's no way Jynxzi donated $1 million.
No.
That's crazy, Jynxzi.
Dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I just feel like in this particular group of people, bro, you got the least liquidity.
Crypto Zoo had a lot of liquidity when this dude rugged his fan base.
You are right. I did not donate $1 million.
Even XQC wasn't having any of this.
Culturally speaking, Jynxzi commands far more current cultural relevance than Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan kind of fallen off.
And MrBeast. Gotta say, like, nobody cares about MrBeast anymore.
He might have to go back. Anyway, MrBeast saw some of this criticism in the past and he didn't take this lightly, prompting a reply on Twitter. We were streaming in front of hundreds of thousands of people and the clips got millions of views, so they did get credit.
That's what it is. Views!
Regardless, I don't feel bad asking for multimillionaires publicly to help people drinking dirt water get access to clean water so they can live longer. The word
How about you put that money toward Americans?
asking is doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
Like, I understand you can't save the world, no matter how much money you got. But why are you trying to save Africa? You know what's going to happen whenever you boost these people up just a little bit. They're just going to go work for China, because China owns Africa.
Between asking millionaires for donations and then asking, I'll give a perfect example.
We're going to save so many lives, but in turn, those lives are going to go toward ending the lives of Americans.
You asked Rug to donate. Rug said he'll donate 10K. You said it wasn't enough, so you made him donate more. Fucking weird. I agree with what Jynxzi said. You guys put me in a group chat and I said, yeah, I'll donate. And then you guys asked me, how much do you want to donate? I said, oh, I don't remember how much I said when they finally got me in the call, but they wanted me to donate like $100,000 to $150,000. Yeah, I donated 50. And
That's what I would have done. I actually, no, I wouldn't have donated anything. I would have told them all to go fuck themselves right there in that call.
Bro, I gave 50 years of free water.
I think I gave $50 too, and as a community, we raised $2,400. Let's go. We just saved Africa.
Who gets all the credit for this, chat? MrBeast. Exactly.
Here's where I fundamentally disagree with Jynxzi, though, because it's not really about the credit. It's a charity. Who gives a about credit? I mean, this stuff...
Well, he is right, though, because MrBeast is going to take credit. I know it's not about credit. MrBeast doesn't care, because that just helps his brand. Look, we save lives. We have to be the biggest brand in the world because of how awesome and good we are for humanity.
Is straight up biblical. My boy Matthew said this. You don't gotta be flaunting your charity and stuff. And while MrBeast might get all the credit, does it really matter at the end of the day?
He shed light.
Nothing matters. This whole fucking thing doesn't matter. Building the wells doesn't matter.
on the performative mechanics of celebrity philanthropy.
Even though I'm low-key ripping off this dude's video, I'm still gonna complain about the AI script. Cool project, awful execution, and while I don't think MrBeast is as malicious as some videos may come out to be, I think he dropped the ball here pretty seriously.
The reading the room of that room with me and Aiden was not good either.
I think MrBeast's biggest problem is he's a corporate robot.
Like, me and Aiden kept pausing and looking at each other and looking at him as in like, yo, can we do like a read the room check? And it's like he would just not connect.
It's because deep down, MrBeast is still a bit of a nerd. Like, he got all this money and fame, but like, he's still the same dude who he was a while ago.
I dare you to say something controversial. Chris, I was thinking about robbing a store.
You can't do that. You'll get shot, Jimmy.
I'm white.
Wait a minute. I'm white.
I do, however, strongly believe that Jynxzi was the first person to open Pandora's box on MrBeast, and then the other people came out criticizing him.
MrBeast's answer to the criticism has been a deflecting tweet and a lawsuit threat.
Threatening Aiden Ross might be the dumbest thing ever, because you know that dude got some lawyers. Subscriber MrBeast will brutally tickle you. Unfortunately, we ran out of time for today's video.
I used to be a really big MrBeast fan. And then around COVID happened. Actually, it was whenever he started doing shows and doing things outside of YouTube that I started to fall off. And I started to realize, dude is actually a massive piece of shit, and he doesn't mean to be. He just is. Which is worse than somebody who is trying to be a piece of shit, in my opinion. Because dude is one of the richest people in the world. And I say that not because he's literally one of the richest people. I'm talking about with like influence and everything, not just like monetary value.
Let's talk about the Lindsay Clancy situation.
Woo!
Now, maybe you don't know what's going on, but the big trial going on right now, and a lot of people are talking about it. I didn't really know anything about this.
Do you think anything's going to happen to her? Because I don't. I think that she's going to end up going free because the internet caught wind of this whole story, and it skews everything whenever the internet does that, whenever a story like this goes viral.
Until last week, and man, does it boil my blood. A lot of people are discussing this.
A lot of
There's
people.
once again a divide between men and women. However, this time it's more of the crazier women that are divided on this. And
I wouldn't say crazy. I would say evil.
And there is one good thing that's come out of this whole situation, and I'll tell you about it in a second in case you've been living under a rock like me, apparently, because I hadn't seen any of the madness going on until the TikTok trend started. But this woman is a symbol of woke, liberal, feminist women, particularly white women. White women, predominantly.
I'm not racist, but I do hate white women.
And there's a lot of...
Not all white women, but you know the kinds.
Reasons that they're supporting this stuff, but in case you don't know, Lindsay Clancy is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, okay? 3 counts, because she...
Yeah, I think that it should be a worse charge. I think it should be a single charge for killing children, and that should lead to her immediate capital punishment.
She took out 3 children, her children, and...
I think killing 1 children and killing 3 children, killing 10 children, killing 50,000 should all be the same charge.
It is a wild story, and it's so premeditated. She's trying to win on insanity, and she
probably will get that, and she'll probably be able to be out in the general public, at least at some points.
Undoubtedly, I'm sure, is suffering from postpartum depression, and that's where all of these women are coming out and basically supporting her and trying to make it okay to take out your children when they're...
No, I think they're saying it's okay to have those feelings, and sometimes those feelings become reality. I think that's what people are saying. But still, that's fucking insane. Just as insane, I would argue.
Kids were pretty old. 3, 4, I think, was the oldest one.
I think 8 months was the youngest.
This is so disgusting how she did it. She sent her husband out on an errand to go get something, and then did it while he was gone. She took him out with exercise band ropes.
Was she actually trying to do that, though? Or did she just have the time because he's gone? Now do it. I think that's what I gathered from it. It wasn't that she sent him away to kill the kids. He got sent away, or he went on his own volition, and then while he was gone, a voice in her head was like, hey, now's your chance.
And strangled him. Then cut herself up and jumped out a window trying to take herself out, and that paralyzed.
She was just trying to escape. She was locked in the bedroom. That's what I was hearing.
And now she's sitting on trial. Personally, in a situation like this, I don't even
It was the husband.
think there should be a trial. Should just be swift. And then just head on over, get a horse and some rope, head over to the tree.
How about we get 4 horses? Like a horse for each limb?
Done. It's like you can reuse the rope.
Have you ever seen The Hitcher?
It's a little bit better, I think, than using a bullet. But I guess you could reuse that too. So what am I thinking? But anyway, let's talk about this. So this is dividing couple, right? Some people are getting divorced. And I saw this, and I gotta say, this guy here made the right decision. My brother, whom gets married in 2 weeks, sent the entire family, plus hers, a group chat saying he is calling off the wedding because his fiance said supported Lindsay Clancy on Friday.
Oh, dude, yes.
Selfish. Based. Absolute king. W for him. Get the hell out. In fact, this is now a test for men and women, and they're both doing it. If you,
that's crazy. I mean, the men testing the women, I can understand that. The women testing the men to see if they support Lindsay Clancy, that's fucking insane.
You are a single man.
You gotta go. And I know that so many men just won't because they're addicted to the pussy.
Or even a married one. Find out how your wife feels about this. Because if she said she supports this crazy bitch, it's time to walk.
I don't like to talk shit about my exes, but my exes, the 2 that I've had, would both be on my side on this. My exes are based.
Walk away. Definitely with your children if you can, because this is insanity. Any woman that supports this, I just don't get it. And postpartum is a very real thing. Postpartum depression is brutal and it's tough on women.
I know what my ex-wife would say. Oh, man, that sucks. I really feel bad for her. I can understand how she came to that point. Capital punishment.
But it should never be okay to do that. And if you're that far gone, you're not needed in society.
True.
You need to go.
Yeah, and if you let the government just load you up with drugs, then you go crazy. It's not like she was being forced to take these drugs.
You are net negative and a danger. Pretty much anybody, I think. You're willing to kill your own flesh and blood like this brutally? And how scary.
And she knew that she was having problems and didn't go seek help.
Scary for them. I don't trust you around anybody because you could go and snap and take anybody out.
True.
So people are getting divorced. There's this lawyer. We're going to watch this guy's video. This lawyer who's talking about now helping people, men, get out of their marriages because they're supporting this crazy bitch. And women are also telling each other to walk away if a man doesn't support.
Hell yeah, good for the men.
Like, you shouldn't even lie and say you do. You don't want to be anywhere near a woman that is crazy enough to support this psycho, okay? But check this out. Here's the women's perspective. Let's watch this woman here and see what she has to say. I'm sure it's reasonable, right? So, woke white woman, I'm sure it's a reasonable take. Let's listen.
No. Yeah, right? Don't say yes. You say no. Capital punishment. She doesn't even need to see the inside of a jail cell.
Bitch, I think she deserves a lot more than jail. I don't even think she deserves a trial because all they're trying to do, because she admits it. She's not saying she's not guilty. She admits it. Absolutely disgusting. And these women, they're really showing up for her. Here's a video from the trial. So this is going to be her rolling in a van.
I think all of this is because of TikTok gassing each other up. Just all these freaks on TikTok. Because you'll have a woman say something crazy and all of a sudden she's got 100,000 likes. You say something true and meaningful on TikTok, there's no outrage clicks. There's no insanity clicks. You get nothing. You get no traction. But you say something crazy, all of a sudden it's going viral and you're making some money.
And look at all these women that do it. They're doing like a heart thing with their hands to show her love and support.
Because it's trendy and gets likes. Not a single one of them doesn't have their fucking phone out, recording it. Look at all of them. Every single one of them has their phone out.
People, mostly women, have gathered outside of the Plymouth Superior Courthouse to show their support for Lindsay Clancy.
They felt like the system failed her. She was begging for help, but no one was there. I don't know if us being here will make her feel any better, but...
She's literally about to cry. This is insane. And who is loser guy in the red shirt.
Probably there with his wife.
What a...
Or he's trying to get
I
laid.
should swear too much because I would like the video to get monetized. But there are several explicit names I would like to throw at this gentleman here in the red shirt. What a bum. What an absolute loser this guy is. And like I said, because some people will get mad and say that I'm singling out white women. When you look at this crowd, what's the majority that you see here?
50-year-old white women.
Broken white women. It is white women that seem to be the most broken.
And they all look very, very similar. They're all the same type of white woman.
I like that term people use, like, is it suicidal empathy? These women seem to have.
Also something that I've noticed, none of the wokies are there, like the ones that are obviously wokies. None of the people with the septum piercings and the tattoos and the cropped hair and blue. These are like mostly blonde women.
Because they totally vote against their own
women
interests.
with braids and pigtails.
Everybody else want to just waste all the money on all these all these social programs. And a really good example of just how gone a lot of them are. This video that went viral, mostly on social media, is this illegal alien or a migrant in one of the European countries. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but he was like masturbating on a beach, all butt out, like all exposed, butt out, schlong out, going to town, and people started to jump him and beat him up. And who ran to his defense to try to help this man? A white woman.
Beat
They
her
seem
too.
to be just absolutely broken, more than any other group of women. I don't know why. Maybe they're all hopped up on SSRIs, just them mostly. I'm not sure. To deny.
It's because they're lame and they're not really breaking any laws. That's why you don't see black women out here. Because black women, they break laws and go nuts and have interactions with cops. These freaks are way too boring for that.
That the majority of these radical liberal women aren't white is a cope. It is, I would say, like 60, and this is speculation, right? But I bet you 60% of white women are broken, maybe higher. It's insane what's happened. They don't want to have kids. They only fight to take out their own kids.
They're all on some kind of pills, pharmaceuticals.
It seems to be the number one issue to them, above anything, is their ability to eliminate their own babies. They hate men. They want to be alone. They don't want to have babies or anything. They just want to run around and live the nightlife until they're 60 or 70. And then a lot of them wake up and say, shit, I wish I'd had a family.
And then breast cancer.
Now I'm old. I can't have kids. I'm going to die alone. Sad.
I mean, she's living in hell right now.
Just wanted to support Lindsay and just say it could be, one of my sister-in-laws, it could be one of my best friends, and it could be me.
You can send all of them to the dumpster, too, if that's what they want to do. I wouldn't support
Deport them all.
somebody. I would drop them like a hat.
I need a deport them button. Hold on. I got to start writing shit down.
Like a bad habit and a hat if they told me they support this woman. Because that's absolutely disgusting. Such moral bankruptcy.
So just here to support.
We are hearing her. We see that she tried.
We see you, Queen.
And I really do believe that.
It's unexcusable, a state of psychosis. Do you know how rare it is to win insanity? And if she's this broken, I don't want her around living off taxpayer dime. That money could be spent towards actually maybe helping people that, won't do something insane like this. Maybe pull them back. I don't know. But once you're this far gone, we don't need you around it.
She went into a state of psychosis.
Clancy's supporters call her attorney Kevin Reddington a champion of women's rights. Is she aware of this support, and what does she think of this support?
I'm going to go in and see her right now. I'm sure that she is, and if she isn't, she will be.
What do you think about?
She's so beat up and just so sad. This will really help her out, I think.
Tell her we love her. A crowd of about 200 to 300 people lined the road at...
These are the same women that were drooling over that Luigi Mangione guy.
As Lindsay Clancy was brought into the courthouse.
All white women, by the way. All of them.
All the same kind of white woman, by the way.
I hope.
The kind that wear the giant sunglasses, wear pink. Look at all the pink.
When this is all over, that the medical field gets, held responsible for some of this, because she tried desperately to get help.
I don't disagree with that, the first part. I think that we should be going after Big Pharma because of shit like this.
And it wasn't there.
There's so many therapists out there. People should have taken her kids from her. I will say that. If she really was trying hard or whatever, the husband should have taken the kids and went somewhere for a while or whatever.
It's not up to him. Unfortunately, there was nothing that he could have done about this, because if he would have done that, the internet would have been against him. She would have started making TikToks, been like, my husband took my kids, just because I'm a little sad.
But still, ultimately, she's the one that took that.
And he probably would have been arrested.
That exercise ban to them and took them out. She should not get any special. And she needs to go right to the chair. That's where she needs to go.
Zap.
Whether she's guilty, innocent, it doesn't really matter. 3 lives.
And she's sitting there, like, babying that dog, like, shaking it around like it's a child she's trying to get to take a nap.
Gone. And so, just get to the truth. That's all.
Hundreds of...
We know the truth. She admitted it. Now, here's the good stuff. Just in, a divorce attorney confirms he has multiple male clients requesting to use their wives' public support of Lindsay Clancy in custody battles.
Oh,
if a woman
shit.
thinks it's okay to kill your kid because you have postpartum depression, that woman should lose all visitation rights, period.
True. Oh, boy, I got an idea. My roommate is trying to get, well, he's not really trying to get full custody of his kids, but his ex is fucking crazy and she's not around, and he's always afraid that she's going to come around and take the kids away from him because they don't have any agreements saying that she has to stay away. And one of the kids isn't actually his. He just takes care of the kid because he's a badass. But that's constantly a fear that he has. But if we can get her to admit that she is on board with Lindsay Clancy, unfortunately, I don't think that she is, because she's a little based.
Agree with him. Would you want someone like that? Oh, I was depressed that they just decided to take out my children. And you know what they want, really? The ability to do that and not get in trouble.
And also attention.
Because a lot of particular white women really do not seem to value the lives of children at all.
That's why they support abortion, which is worse than the Holocaust.
They see them as disposable.
Yeah, they want to be able to kill their kids even after the kids are born. Because what the Denim said it, they don't create memories until they're at least 5 years old, which is not fucking true.
All they talk about. That's like their number one concern. And
they just signed, where was it that they signed that you can have an abortion all the way up till birth now? Excuse me, what?
It's well past the, couple of weeks in or a month or whatever.
By the way, all of those women vote. Every single one of those women vote. You know that they do.
No, they want to be able to do it all the way up until the date of birth.
No, they want even past that.
It's disgusting. I don't like any of that shit at all. But for real, man, like, what is going on? So bless this man. Get them out. Get those children away from these crazy ass women.
100%. I've already been consulting men in custody cases where their baby mama has been doing the solidarity hold a heart thing with the Lindsay Clancy stuff, and he's like, hey, this woman's got all kinds of former depressive issues, she's had self-harm issues, this now is evidence and validation that I have of that fact, concern based upon prior allegations with no evidence, but allegations of hitting the kids. And so yeah, we're gonna go and swing for the fences, and we're gonna try to strip him from having visitation rights. I want to be able to have a forensic psychiatrist interview this woman, just see just how wackadoodle she is. And we're going to use...
Excellent.
Fuck yeah. Dude, maybe TikTok wasn't such a bad idea after all, because now we're starting to notice these people and we're starting to do something about them.
Excellent. I love...
We should not ban these people. We should leave their videos up and let them get all the likes. And then we can find them. And then we can do something about it. Legally.
I think this is fantastic news. And hopefully a lot of women completely lose their rights over this because they're batshit crazy.
I think that they should be removed from general society.
I would feel for the safety of my children if they were with a woman like that.
I feel for the safety of the entire general public. Lock them up, deport them, stick them in an asylum or something.
It's clearly they got something wrong with them. And this shit is all over TikTok. All over TikTok. All these insane women they're setting up tripods and putting their cameras in there and then recording themselves fake crying while holding.
Oh man, maybe I should make a Lindsay Clancy video of me crying and holding a heart in solidarity. That'd be fucking great. Maybe I go viral.
Their babies and stuff. It's the same shit that we saw. Remember when everyone was on lockdown and you're seeing the nurses set up cameras and acting all sad in front of all performance. It's a bunch of performative shit. But I would absolutely want to run with that and take it to a lawyer.
I saw a video of a oh boy, there are people making videos about this, by the way, in support of Lindsay Clancy. And then it zooms out and it's like she's laying on the couch with a camera pointed at her with the ring light. I love that. I love these kinds of memes where they're like, they're pointing out that it's all fake.
To get it away, get the kid away from someone like that. Man, it's scary. This is absolutely a deal breaker, in my opinion. If you're with somebody and they say they support what this woman did, get out. Get out. That's not somebody you want to be with, because ultimately when you get with somebody, like, would hope it would be to start a family eventually.
Imagine how many lives Lindsay Clancy saved by killing her kids in this going viral. Very, very unfortunate. But the amount of divorces that are going to happen because of this, and the amount of children that are getting away from these fucking lunatic women, I love it. I love it so much. I'm not going to say thank you to Lindsay Clancy. I'm going to say thank you to the kids for being martyrs.
You don't want to start a family with somebody who thinks it's okay to be depressed and then eliminate your own offspring. That's unhinged. You're supposed to become wired to protect them no matter what, especially the men. Protecting your children, like that's what you do. So, I mean, our society is so screwed up. I don't think has there ever been a society as broken as ours?
Yes.
Yes,
it used to be much, much worse. This kind of thing used to happen all the time and nothing was able to be done about it because nobody knew about it. There was no way to tell. There was no technology.
Thought, right? Remember when social media first came out? It's like you would think that we've never been so connected, right? But in reality, we've never been so far apart, so disconnected.
And we've never been able to see these crazy fucking people.
You see it everywhere. Nobody likes to talk to each other. Most people don't even know who their neighbors are anymore. I think one of the worst things to happen to us as a society is social media. I really do. I think it's absolutely screwed us up.
No, I disagree. I think people screwed themselves up because they locked themselves up in their houses and they're just on social media constantly. I know my neighbors. I help run a farm. It's like, just do better. This isn't social media's fault. This is humanity's fault.
More than we'll ever probably know. And this is some of that. Very depressing. Depressing topic, I'm sorry, but I'm just blown away by this trial. I wish I had found out about it sooner. But nonetheless, at least it's exposing people to just how crazy these feminist women are. I mean, because this really shows it. This is some of the wildest shit, man. So at least there's that. And it's showing a lot of people that, you know, maybe you're not with the right person. I agree with that woman. This is ask day one on a date. How do you feel about this? It's wild, huh? And if they say they support it, get the hell out. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and then she's going to make a TikTok like, I can't believe this man just walked out of the date after he asked me about Lindsay Clancy. And I stand with Lindsay Clancy.
In the car, throw that bitch and drive and fuck out of there. Anyway. That's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on this insanity.
It is fucking insane. I hate that this is happening, but at the same time, I kind of love that it's happening because so many people are exposing themselves for what they really are. Demons!
Streamer Shroud is doing some sort of partnership with Insomniac here, promoting Marvel's Wolverine. They even apparently flew the guy out to the offices and made this little...
Yeah, that's what they do with all of the games journalists. They take them to parties, and then they do backroom handshakes, and they all promote each other.
Video with him, which I'll show you in a moment, 36 seconds long. As you might expect, the comments are not really supportive of this collaboration, though. So let's take a look. He says, big thank you to Insomniac Games for letting me hang around the studio. Dude, I just think it's funny because, like, I would never want to go to that studio, let alone thank them. Hey, do you want to come to the studio? Yeah, thanks. How about no? How about you stay away from me? But he says, Marvel's Wolverine will be available exclusively on PS5 on September 15th.
I could see how this could work, but what they're doing is getting this content creator to fall in love with them so that they'll promote their content for them. But what they really should be doing is, like, you know, documentary style promotion where the guy comes in, tours the studio, gives some history on it, doesn't talk about the game and how good it is. That's acceptable. But whenever you throw these lavish parties and throw these events on for games journalists so you can get good clicks. It's fucking disgusting. That's why nobody trusts any of the game corporations or the games journalists.
Pre-order now, everybody. At PlayStation, at Marvel Games, PS5 Games, Wolverines, Wolverine EPS5, hashtag ad. Yeah, dude, let's go to the studio. I'm sure these will be, some real gamers, real Marvel fans.
This explains everything with Wolverine, all the problems that I have. Was Wolverine mocapped by a woman? And then they edited the body shape to look like a man, and that's why it looks so fucking weird, why it doesn't look right. They probably use a fat woman, too.
They would be a pleasure to hang out with, That would be really insightful. That would be such a great day.
And I could see them using a dude for Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Or a masculine
big thank
woman.
You to PlayStation for sponsoring this video, because somehow I managed to get a sneak peek of the upcoming Marvel's Wolverine game. And let me tell you, gamers and Marvel fans are in for a real treat. I convinced Insomniac to...
Yeah, you're not going to say anything other than that because you're getting paid.
Let me take a look around the studio, including
industry
checking out the
shill.
motion capture room. Also, got to see some sets from the game, including the Princess Bar. And then finally, I got my hands on the game.
All right, it's time to play.
It's brutal, visceral. Really makes you feel like you're Wolverine. Insomniac is so good at that, making you feel like that character. I can't wait to play it.
Oh, man, the vocal fry is pissing me off.
I'm so pumped. You should be too.
You should be pumped for this game.
Because Marvel's Wolverine is out September 15th, exclusively on the PlayStation 5.
I love how completely out of touch all of them are. Like, dude, they literally use two of the most mocked scenes in the entire game that we've seen so far, in the entire gameplay we've seen so far. And they think this is like a cool thing. Gamers are going to love this. The first scene is this one when he jumps out of the plane, falls out of the plane, and flips off the character that he was talking to. And the defenders are like, dude, he's flipped people off with his claws before. And it's like, yeah, but the way they did it's cringe. Insomniac is making...
Yeah, look at his face. Look how baby face he is doing that. And that soy smile he's got going on. It's fucking cringe. You look back at the times that Wolverine did this, he looks like a mean badass whenever he's doing it.
Making this so cringe. And people analyzed, it's probably the way he, has this weird grin and, jumps out of the plane at the same time. It's like, you're doing too much. You're trying too hard. Now, personally...
They should have left his face... in that particular moment, blank.
I've never thought flipping someone off to be a cool thing. I know movies for a long time have tried to make that like a cool thing.
This could have been cool if he would have been blank face and his face didn't look like that. It was just all weird and bubbly.
To me, it's never come off as cool because I'm like, oh, so you're mad. Okay.
If he would have been expressionless, that would have been pretty cool. But once again, what the fuck is with the proportions of his body?
You're mad. I got it. That's not a dub in my opinion. And then they took it even further with this scene though, because the whole as mentioned, falling.
It's fucking. Look at his tiny
out
feet.
The plane and the explosion in the background at the same time.
He got tiny little feet compared to the size of his body. Why are his legs so stubby and his body is wide?
Literally peak cringe. And then they include the next one, which is this scene, which I might actually.
He looks like he's taking a shit.
Be responsible for really getting this scene mocked because I had a somewhat viral tweet comparing this to Erika Ishii, and I was doing it as a joke a bit, but there was a similarity with the way the mouth was open, the face in particular, and the defenders really got mad at me for that. I'll show you that in a second, but let's just play this couple second part here again real quick. Oh, I want the sound on. Let's go back
for a real treat.
Dude, that generic raw. Oh,
dude, Skyrim did it better with the force push.
Oh my gosh. Dude, how do you make a Wolverine game and give him negative aura? That's actually impressive. That takes talent. Obviously the wrong kind of talent.
Why does he slightly have a lazy eye too?
Which is to say there's no talent.
And his teeth are so fucking clean.
But you get the point. And that takes me to the Erika Ishii tweet that I made. So my silly little tweet here, this got 11,000 likes, almost 400,000 views, and 99% of the responses were people understanding the point here. And 1% were somehow acting like they were oblivious and making horrible bad faith arguments, or they were actually that ignorant. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But people, like I said, 99% of people got the joke. They're putting the soylent. They've got the soy jack on them. Yeah, dude, that is actually so accurate. And since then, I've seen this image actually getting a lot of reposts places. I think this is the first time it was posted, at least the first time I saw it on August 15th here, from this guy responding to me. So that was hilarious, too. Here's an example of the terrible arguments people were bringing up, though, in the response.
Well, he looked like this in the comics. I don't give a shit. The comics are old. And it's been so long since I read X-Men comics and Wolverine comics, and also their drawings that they didn't spend $500 million on.
Because Wolverine has never in the 50 years he's existed, has never ever not once made that face. Go the F outside and
yeah, and also this is badass looking.
Breathe some fresh air. And it's like, dude, that's not even remotely the same energy. It takes me back to what I said a moment ago.
It really reminds me of Marvel's The Avengers video game. And all I can think about is what it's going to be like when this game comes out and Oni Plays gets a hold of it.
Somehow Marvel's Wolverine, this upcoming game, they gave him like negative aura. Like that looks weak. It looks cringe. It literally looks weak.
You're gay!
This, I'm still not a Wolverine fan, so this doesn't really do anything for me. But
right?
You can clearly see like...
Yeah, even though I've read a lot of the X-Men and a lot of the Wolverine stuff, I'm not really a fan. So none of this is getting me.
Like there is actual...
People were calling me a tourist. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm a tourist. Call me a tourist all you want. It's meaningless. It's not going to get me to buy the game. What do you think here?
Intimidating energy here, somewhat, compared to this. And when I say I'm not a Wolverine fan, it's just because I've never been a fan of the archetype of like, oh, I'm gonna get angry and like aggressive. Like that's just not my sort of character type. I respect Wolverine. I like him for like what he does to help other mutants. I like that he's like kind of a role model of sorts to the other mutants. I like his dedication to helping Professor X and, you know, his long-standing history and his lineage. I respect all that. I'm just saying, like, you know, big, angry, or not, it's not really big, but it's the opposite of big, actually. But, you know, angry, aggressive character archetype, just not my preferred archetype. That's all. To clarify one thing, though, that doesn't mean I dislike him. I've actually got a more positive opinion than negative opinion of him. Just saying, you know, he wouldn't be on my list of favorites. Let's return to the...
He's not even in my top 100 of comic book characters.
The Shroud tweet. Let's take a look at the public reception that this tweet is getting. So, at the very top, we've got, you realize you tarnish your brand as a gamer completely by taking money and marketing trash slop like this game? You have to be smart enough to realize this, right? Let's check out the responses here.
Well, he doesn't have to be smart enough to realize it because he's getting paid.
They don't care. They just want clout, perks, incentives, and invites to events. Yeah. I just don't understand that. Why would anyone want to be a part of those events? And what clout? It's literally
because there's money and there's big things.
Negative clout. Hey, I worked with Insomniac. Yeah, like that's bad. Why would you want to work with those guys?
Because what you see in front of your face whenever you're there, it's exciting.
Guys, hey, I worked with a lot of modern audience devs. Look at my clout, gamers. Isn't that cool? No, it's literally the opposite. What? So fundamentally, yeah, I just don't understand that.
It would be cool if, like, I went to Insomniac. It's not cool when a multi-millionaire, super famous streamer goes to Insomniac. That's lame.
Not at all. And if the argument's simply, oh, they paid him, I get it. We all need money. But
no, it's not just money.
I think it's important to also have
It's more about the event and the feelings while you're at the event.
Standards. At least to me, that's an important thing. Most of the sponsorship offers I've got, I decline. It's very rare where I actually accept one. Then we got this comment. You could have at least held the clause properly. Dude, I didn't catch this, but yeah, that is actually not...
People call me a tourist.
Not correct, huh? Why is it coming out of like the thumb and the index finger area? Where would the claw even be coming out of there? Like magically out of thin air? Like, dude.
It's AI generated.
This is so symbolic of how little these people care. These people being like the devs at Insomniac. They don't even care about making an actual good Wolverine game. And it's so symbolic that the guy they fly out to do the promotion with them, they don't even get the clause right either in the promotional material. Like, it's not a huge deal, but it is funny, like I said. It's symbolic and
oh, no! I just found out that Dolly Parton just passed away. Damn it!
It's funny. At least he got the other one right, though. Wait, did he? Oh, no, wait. I don't even think he got that one right either. Catering to streamers again. This game is gonna flop so hard, says this comment. But let's take a look at this. Let's focus on this for a second. Maybe we shouldn't focus on this for a second, actually. Maybe we should just erase this from our memory. Dude, is this Aloy? This is the Horizon character Aloy, right? I remember that character. They added her to Genshin Impact, and all the Genshin players were like, dude, this character sucks. And they don't even let us delete her. It was actually probably one of the funniest Genshin controversies of all time, actually.
And it's really unfortunate because I really liked the first Horizon game. I haven't played any of the other Horizon stuff, but the first one was all right. It was a solid 7 out of 10. Sometimes Aloy's face looked weird, but it's an older game, so I I just let it be, even though I know they made her uglier than the actual normal actor on purpose to reset beauty standards.
Actually, people were literally like, dude, I don't even want her in my character catalog, but we can't delete her. What was there was like some what were people doing? There was a workaround, I think. It was like leave her at level 1 so she's at least at the bottom or something. I thought there was a better workaround though. I'm forgetting. This was years ago. I actually do remember the leave her at level 1 was like the obvious play where at least, again, she's at the bottom of your roster so you don't have to really look at her. That's what I ended up doing. But there was a better workaround. If I recall, this was what it was. People were saying if you don't collect her from the mailbox, like if you don't collect the gift, quote unquote, from the mailbox, you don't actually claim her, that after 30 or 60 days, whatever the period is, she'll get like auto deleted from your mail. So that was the workaround, I think.
That's like opening up your mailbox and there's a cherry bomb in there and it explodes and you're just injured for life. That's what that is. That's what it is when you get Aloy in your mailbox in Genshin Impact.
According to Recollection. In the quote tweets, we've got Shroud liking it and getting paid to promote it, confirms it's actually going to be pure garbage. And then right below that, we got It's a Gundam showing Shroud in a Fallout suit, right?
Remember
that is
this?
a Fallout suit, right? Wait, what does Shroud have to do with Fallout? Is there...
Yeah, he promoted that garbage show.
Is there some explanation in the comments here? Let's take a look. So there actually wasn't, but I just Googled Shroud and Fallout, and it popped up this trailer from like 6 months ago. Fallout official dog meat trailer.
I shit
Shroud.
on it. This right here, this kind of shit makes me not want to enjoy your product because it takes me out of it.
I just never understand why some streamers, they're so desperate to be a part of Hollywood and like the AAA video game industry. It's so weird to me because, again, there's this major disconnect where for me, I want to be on the complete opposite from those people.
Yeah, I want to be going to events that indie publishers, that indie devs are putting on. I want to go to these retro nostalgia events. I want to go to the AA games events and support all of that stuff. I don't even play AAA games. The only AAA that I like is Resident Evil. Everything else, I'm all indie and retro, baby.
Hey, do you want to be a part of the established corpos? Absolutely not. I want to do my own thing. So I've just never understood that. The only good thing about this trailer are the dogs, though. The dogs are cool. The dogs are cute. Anyways, that is the latest Shroud situation.
Yeah, what a disgusting freak. And now we move on to the next portion of the show. The ghosts of gaming. Honestly, it's my favorite part besides maybe the body cam part. And since I got you here, if you haven't left a like on this video yet, you better leave a like. It means a lot to me. I love you. Damn it.
The floor is breathing dust under busted priceless glass. One more token in my hand, but the cabinet won't last. The screen keeps chewing names with the hungry static grin. You left your mark in ash, then the whole place caved back in. Hear the hum in the walls, hear the buckle and drag. Every winter's in, every lost came back. Ghosts of the game, the decay is on fire. It's all rotten and forgotten, it's all corrupting and relapsing. Ghosts of the game, you keep pulling me higher. It's all rotten and forgotten, it's all corrupting and relapsing.
There's been a lot of controversy when it comes to Halo Campaign Evolved and the lack of players playing the game, at least on Steam concurrently, and the feedback and dislike overall of updates and just from it. And I've seen many people saying, why can't we just get the original devs back together? You know, one more time, put the team together and make one great game to send everyone off with Halo. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, starting with Niles Sankey, someone who I've covered multiple times
That's a name.
on this channel and someone who has been very vocal when it comes to the most recent Halo, because this guy actually worked on Halo 3 and other games in the series. He was also formerly Monolith and Bungie before they died. And he knows quite a bit about the background of Halo and just giving some people some really hard pills to swallow. So we're going to go through this, but it's not just him. After he started this thread, other Halo devs came in and joined in on the conversation. I found this fascinating. He said, as someone who worked at old school Bungie in its heyday, I just want to be honest about the hire the old Halo devs back. Hard to swallow pill.
I don't think they want to come back, and honestly, I don't want them to come back, because fuck Halo. They should all get together and make a spiritual successor.
It would be very possible to resurrect the old magic, and it's very unlikely this will ever happen. By the way, this is not limited to Halo. This is generally true of most creative endeavors and multiple collaborative mediums.
We used to know this. The games industry used to know this. That's why we would have Crash Bandicoot, and then we move on from Crash Bandicoot into Jak and Daxter, and we could see it literally, Jak and Daxter, at the same time as the new Crash Bandicoot games. They just weren't very good, and Jak and Daxter was killing it. I'm glad they ended Jak and Daxter before it got shitified. They had one game that I heard was kind of mid. It was the very last one. I didn't play it.
So yes, I know I'm talking about Halo at the start of this, but this really does speak to the greater concerns and problems video game industry at.
Yeah, stop doing Gears of War. Gears of War E-Day was such a fucking awful idea. They should have done something else that was the spiritual successor.
Large, and why a lot of people are saying just get the old teams back together to make the games the way they used to be.
No, just
the old teams are off retired right now, or too split up, or have been completely wokeified. And many of these developers were originally based, and as time went on, people like, I don't know, Neil Druckmann could say, for example, meet someone like Anita Sarkeesian, and from Last of Us 1 to Last of Us Part 2, we see a jarring difference in storyline, we'll just say. Niles confused. He says, here's why. The devs are not the same people they once were. People change, tastes change, and personal priorities. They're likely not as hungry and driven as they once were. They also, anytime, start families and have other priorities too.
Yeah, they're passionless for the video game that they're making.
It doesn't mean they're less talented, but they're just not the two. The magic of old school Bungie was very specific formula of talents and personality type. You generally need a percent of this old formula for success. Remove one piece, you might not. Remove multiple, the formula collapses. You could feel the slow degradation of Bungie over the Destiny years. It was a death by 1,000, 5 to 10 specifics that doomed the studio.
Honestly, you could feel the degradation of Bungie throughout the Halo series. Once Halo Reach came out, people fucking hated it, man. People loved it. I loved it. But it did make a lot of changes, and it added those, the loadouts. It added, sprint and jetpack, all that. And it just kind of was getting away from feeling like Halo.
You can't just hire a few old school devs and expect it's going to be like the good old days. 3, many of the old schoolers didn't like working with, or they grew to resent it. This is a very common trend in creative production.
Especially corporate creative productions.
Movies are made by people that ended up hating it. Great albums are made by artists that will never speak. Once again, game dev teams are like a high drama family that isn't bonded by blood. Some of the most insanely talented people I know don't like each other, but both were required success.
This is why Borderlands 3 sucked so hard, is because right at the beginning of it, everybody hated each other, and they all just split up, and it sucked.
It's just a fact of life and the human condition, and that extends beyond video game development.
We get one of the greatest games of all time, Borderlands 2, and they couldn't keep it together for Borderlands 3, which I don't know how I feel about it. I'm never going back to play Borderlands 3, probably.
Sphere.
Definitely not playing Borderlands 4.
I've noticed that in just YouTube circles as well. Sometimes some of the greatest productions out there with great talents together on scene, they work great, but behind this is a shit show. It happens more often than you think.
Game Grumps, the original Game Grumps. Now I think everybody for the most part is friends, except for the side characters that, came and went.
4, I'm not.
Also, Oni Plays, Ding Dong and Julian. They had a falling out.
Convinced that most gamers actually want another innovative Halo game. I think they mainly want to recapture things they had back in the day. They want nostalgia.
Yeah.
But Halo games were very forward thinking at the time. It's hard to resolve nostalgia with innovation. Many of the old devs are they would make changes that would upset the fan base. This presents a monkey's paw situation. Holy shit. These are very hard pills to swallow. They're very. All that said, I do think Microsoft should 100% be consulting old school Halo devs. I agree with that. It's been very foolish not to. It would be beneficial, but I would only expect marginal return.
Yeah, just kill the franchise. It's over.
It's not going to the fundamental.
Move on to something else. Make some new Halo games that aren't Master Chief based, maybe. But they're not going to be able to do that because we all saw what they do whenever they make new characters.
No problem. Please don't read this post as a black pill. I'm simply giving my honest views based on my experiences, and it's always better to have realistic expectations. I'm actually very optimistic. The future is very bright.
Not for Halo.
Agree. And you guys who have been watching my videos for a while now, I hope I've gotten that vibe across to you. As much of a shit show as it's in the current time right now.
Just at the big players. Underneath the canopy that is the corporate entertainment industry, everything's going great.
I am very positive feeling about the pendulum swinging back, and the changes don't happen overnight. You don't just wake up and roll out of bed one day and have the game functioning perfectly.
Yeah, it's going to be a realization. We're going to wake up and be like, oh shit, things have been going good for a while. What the fuck? When is everything going to fall apart again? Because I know it's going to happen.
But I'd like to think the step-by-step, death by 1,000 paper cuts simplification of the industry is currently happening. And slowly but surely, the tide is turning. Elite game development is alive and well.
I actually think that it's going to get worse and better at the same time. I think we're going to get the Chud victory games, and I think they're going to wokeify shit even harder because they're desperate.
It resides in the hearts of young developers who are passionate and willing to sacrifice their livelihoods to change the world. We just need more resources pushed in their direction. As always, I encourage everyone to support honest indie game dev. Holy shit. What an incredible,
that is a historical post right there.
Wow. The Kingered says, OG Halo Dev says it's unlikely to get early Halo Bungie magic back just by bringing the original team together. If somebody asked me to work with the same exact team again from my first big career break, I'd flat out tell you no. That's a good point. Like, how many of you think about that from your own personal? If you started out of college or out of high school and your first career was amazing and it peaked at your life, everything was perfect back then. And then 20 years go by, 30 years go by, and you have a family, you've changed careers, you do different things. And then people are like, we need you to get back together with that.
Yeah, when sitting on the porch and drinking coffee sounds fun to you, yeah, I don't know if you should be making games anymore, buddy.
Original group that you had. How many people would actually, I think in theory it sounds great. In reality, we made great stuff and absolutely crudged together, but he's right. Passions, relationships, skills, and priorities change over time. The next best thing would be just one person returning who could have the interest in leading a team of bright-eyed, bushy-tailed devs who are fans of Halo.
Right there. Who are fans of Halo. Not people who hate it and want to change it. Not people who think that guns are bad in a fucking first-person shooter game.
If we can't get that, just fans of Halo that aren't jaded by 15 years of fighting with their fans. If we can't get that, then give it to somebody else.
Like Activision. That's what I heard was happening, which I'm going to talk about that after this video.
Halo Studios
got one lined up.
Is none of these things. Banger post. Wholeheartedly agree.
So
and we also
true.
got Horror Omerata. One thing you didn't cover is environment. Working at Bungie now is likely worlds different from back when you did. More rules, more top-down control, etc. AAA.
More contractors. So there's less actual work being done by the people around you.
Gaming is suffering partially because they try to formalize success. And the problem is you can't. So much of it depends on messy, unpredictable process that you can't just recreate the process, even if they include insanely talented.
And you got to stop working on tech demos. That's what they're doing.
Just part of my...
The people who are actually, in quotes, having talent are making tech demos for the game. That guy that worked on a new technology for how the environment is generated with those particles, that's pretty cool. But you did that instead of making a good game.
Observation as a longtime gamer. And I love this classic hardcore wokeified dude that identifies as a dinosaur that got fired from Epic Games working on Fortnite, Evanosaurus, who literally dresses as a dinosaur. He said this is very true. Bro, this guy needs to get the fuck out of gaming. He's like, yeah, I'm with you. No, bro, we ain't talking about you. You the fucking door, bro. Niles Segi says, worth the repost because this is 100% the development and social culture so much different in a bad way. Yeah, because we got people
Everybody agrees.
This dude in the industry, principal engineer at Survivor the Ark, ex-Epic Games Fortnite, him with rainbows. Yeah, makes silly games, bro. Yeah, I bet you agree with the environment. Anyways, Marty O'Donnell, the legend himself, composer, and the guy behind hiring many of the popular part of the original Halo.
Currently being canceled right now by the leftoids because he's running for Congress as a Republican.
Says Niles is
got canceled for multiple events.
Right. It was one brief shining moment. Let it never be. Niles quote tweeting Marcus Leto here. He says, "This is true. Bungie has always been an evolving company. Credit to Marcus for being a creative director who was always open to new ideas that pushed the to evolve. Reach was built on a diverse set of ideas from many. Marcus knew when to apply creative input and also when to people around him. That's extremely rare."
And they were looking at other astronomical successes for influence back then. Now, whenever they look at the astronomical successes, it's stuff like the current Call of Duty instead of Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and Black Ops. Now, it's looking at games like Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's looking at games like Wolverine. How many games are going to be made because of Wolverine? Holy shit, dude.
And this is Marcus. A counter to this is that Bungie was never the same, was always evolving up and down. As a leader, I would focus on building an environment where the devs, new and old, can play and create a new brand magic. Very well said. Shout out to Marcus. Niles retweeting Jamie Greisner, and he says, this one of the original developers as well. Honestly, the reason I moved on from the franchise after Halo 3 was because I had no idea where it should go next either. The story was told. The gameplay was perfected, as in completely realized, not flawless. The concept had been explored. Time to drift off into the sunset.
Yes.
Reach was a fun...
But they couldn't do that because they're leaving money on the table.
Denouement, but not for a new trilogy. It was foolish to try to make Halo the tentpole game going forward. If you need a good laugh, I shared this earlier if you hadn't seen it yet. So
you know what they should have done, really, and nobody fucking does this. There's very few devs that actually do this, where they go back to their old games and make new stuff for the old games. They could make new DLC. They could make new story missions that are part of, like, say, Halo 3. Not redo Halo 3 and then add missions to it. No, actually go back to Halo 3, add missions to Halo 3, and not change shit. Which, honestly, they'd still make it wokeified because they're all a bunch of wokies. Nobody's going to work for a current corporation.
This Nicky G guy says, you should really look up the development of Combat Evolved. Microsoft had a major hand in development from the jump. A lot of
Microsoft from back then, not current Microsoft. Huge difference.
A lot of things you like about Halo comes from Microsoft being heavily involved, whether good or bad. He got community noted. User is responding to Jamie Greismer, who was the lead designer on several Halo titles and was the designer for Halo Combat. I don't think I've ever seen community notes burn someone to a crisp this much.
I love when people say that kind of shit to me. It's like, well, if you don't like the current gaming industry, why don't you make a game?
This random guy coming in talking to one of the
Nah, I'd rather bitch about him.
OG Halo developers. Hey, you should really look up the development of Combat Evolved. Bro, you're talking to the guy that...
Yeah, people pretending that they know anything about the topic that you're speaking on and don't even realize who you are because they like to pretend that they're smarter than everybody else. We used to call these types of people know-it-alls.
Created it. Oh, it's amazing. Jamie, you should really look up the development of Combat Evolved. Leave the names of the dev team. I have. He doubles down. I have numerous times, literally again before I commented, just so I'm getting my history right. Mostly of Bungie folks and Microsoft folks, roughly 40 people total. This next part is my opinion. I don't think you get Campaign Evolved as we know it without Microsoft's involvement. And he gets responded by Shredded Nerd with his name, Sir, the creator designer. Oh my God. It's Jay Viper. This is account deletion level of embarrassment.
That's pretty good. Yeah, you're going to be famous for that tweet. Nothing else in your life will make you more famous than that tweet.
Oh my God. When I saw that initially, I was fucking crying. Anyways, Grub says, Halo dev says we can never get Halo again by hiring the people change. Team didn't actually get along. Not hungry enough. Special mix of talent and skill hard to reassemble. People want old Halo. OG wants innovation. I'll add my 2 cents as a former OG WoW lead. Niles is right. We worked insane hours on it. We were hungry to prove ourselves. Most of the team isn't in or can't anymore. Exactly. This is back when like most of the dudes were.
What I'm hearing from all these people, they all have one thing in common. They don't work for the corporations anymore.
Dudes, single.
Or at least this corporation, the corporations they're speaking on.
No kids, fresh out of high school or in some cases college, and computer nerds. They just had all the time in the world and loved gaming. And
computer nerds when it felt good to be a computer nerd. Now it doesn't feel so good.
now those same people have moved on from what they were doing to start families and move further on in their careers somewhere else. Some are running
And now we're in a world of social media and AI.
studios, some are running other places, some have changed careers completely. You're asking them to give that all up and go back and spend countless hours doing what they were doing when they got out of high school? That's a tall order. There were huge egos, fights. People were mad enough to and go found companies. When people also
Wildstar.
changed. Chris Benson, the core of WoW's lore, now regrets ever putting the word war in Warcraft. Oh, that's a whole nother thing I covered previously.
I
People
saw
pass
that.
away. WoW's art director, Bill Pitch, sadly left us. Also, Blizzard would never give us the absolute freedom we had ever again. We could do nearly anything with little oversight.
And they weren't spending $500 million to make a game.
Today,
So there were more risks that you could take.
it would be a nightmare of executive presentations and HR meetings. But the spirit and ideas remain. We know what made WoW great, what made Halo great. And anyone can take those ideas and run with it. Especially with the advent of AI, there's lots of potential for many more people.
I think is coming very, very soon, where we'll be able to remake old games ourselves using AI. Not having to wait for somebody to make a game with AI like Campaign Evolved. We'll be able to do it ourselves, and we'll be better because we don't have corporate ties.
Laura, who's also a developer, an indie developer, she says, another great post by Niles, touching on something that not many people understand. It's not simply a matter of putting the old team back together. Even the people who made the games you love have changed. Instead of hoping that the same old heroes will return and resurrect the old games the way you remember them, it's better to find and support new blood that is carrying the spirit of those beloved games. It's bittersweet. It just makes you remember, like, when you catch lightning in a bottle, it really is just that, like a one-time thing, and it will just randomly happen
Well, it was a 5-time thing, but yeah.
throughout the ages of game creation. And
Because they made 5 great games and then just left us with that. And I'm sure that if they would have been able to make one more game, it just would not have been as good.
cherish it when it does happen.
I mean, they moved on to make Destiny, and that was an absolute failure at the beginning.
Justin says, I think a bitter pill to swallow in this era of endless remakes, reboots, is that it's okay to let franchises come and go.
Yes, and it's okay to just let them die, but corporations can't do that because the IPs make money.
Games aren't meant to reflect a certain period they were made and who for, not meant to live as forever content. It can be immortalized, but not immortal. We have an interview that was shared with me. This is Marty O'Donnell having a conversation with Niles Sankey, talking about leaving Bungie, designing Halo, Unreal experiences. This is the Marty O'Donnell show. I'm definitely not going to react to all this right now. It's 2 hours, but I will link the full video in the description of this one.
I didn't know that he had a show. I'm going to have to go and subscribe to that.
But let's listen to what they have to say a little bit. I love this music. Just the music gives
Hello,
you
everybody.
chills.
Welcome to the Marty O'Donnell Show. This week, it's all about games, and very specifically, my guest is Niles Sankey, who was one of my favorite designers during my time at Bungie. He has a really interesting story of how he got into the game business, how he became a fan of Halo and Bungie, and how he worked his way finally to join us about halfway through Halo 3's production. So I learned all sorts of stuff about Niles that somehow I never knew while he was working with me. So it's a fascinating, for me at least, it's a fascinating interview. I found out all sorts of stuff I didn't know about the inner workings of design on Halo 3 and Reach, and also his new independent studio that he has. So let's get right into it. Everybody, it's Niles Sankey. Hello, everybody. This is the Marty O'Donnell Show. I've already given an introduction to this great guy who's with me, Niles Sankey. Niles, you know, I won't repeat any of the glorious things I've already said in my intro for you. So, but welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure to see your shining face again.
Hey, Marty. Yeah, it's good to finally be on your show, and hello everyone. And I think we were originally gonna do this interview like a year ago, and apparently we got busy with some stuff, I guess. And
It's nothing important. It's, whatever. It's another sort of crazy. Hey, Marty decides to do something. What's he doing now?
Changing the world again.
Running for
I appreciate
office
it. It's
now,
fun
too.
because there are some people out there who, I don't think Marty has any friends from Bungie. He's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, actually, there's a lot of folks that were with me at Bungie that are still my friends, regardless of anything that I do politically or anything else I do. They're still friends.
Yeah, like normal people.
And you're one of them, and I appreciate you coming on. It's great.
Normal people don't give a fuck about what other people's politics are.
And you've been
For those that don't know, by the way, Marty is an outspoken Republican, and a lot of the games industry has just outright shunned this guy because of just that.
And venues.
Which, that in itself speaks volumes from the current state of where you can't even have a political stance without being shunned from the game. And that's crazy. Marty is so down to earth, an all around great guy. He's been a guest on this channel multiple times. And
Can't have that.
Genuinely respect his thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's a good guy. You can't be a good person and be in the leftoid culture.
Do I agree with everything he says? Pretty much. I don't think I've had a moment where he said something I disagree.
I haven't seen anything I disagree with yet.
Agreed with. So yeah, so far, yes, I agree with pretty much everything.
And half of the time you were in Japan. I mean, you're doing all sorts of stuff now.
Yeah, I think the last time that a year ago I was in Japan, and it's probably for the best that it's now, since I have a better internet connection, since I was up in the mountains of Japan, and I did some interviews there, and they didn't actually turn out very good because my voice was coming in, ducking in and out because of the internet connection. But that actually gave me an excuse. I did an interview, and then I gave me an excuse to clarify what I had talked about in the interview. And that's kind of what pushed me to kick off my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I was reviewing again some of your videos. I mean, I love the depth of detail that you go into in terms of the levels you worked on in Halo 3. I think so far, is it mostly the Storm level that?
You know what I think is funny? I think it's funny how all of these creators get pushed out of the gaming industry because of their political views or whatever, cultural views, whatever. And then they're like, fine, I'll go off and do my own thing. And then they make more money than they would have if they would have been in that corporation. And the corporations lose out on that. I love it.
You've really exposed? Or
yeah. I plan on doing trying to do just general retrospectives for all the games that I've worked on. And I thought it would be best to start with Halo 3, just because there's just so much interest in Halo 3.
I will link Niall's YouTube channel in the description of this as well. I think this is a great way to rekindle the love for the old games. Instead of trying to ask for them to come back together, just watch their videos talking about what it was like and play the old games. Maybe it's just that simple.
Turn on the old game and put this podcast on in the background.
Have you ever wanted to know how Bungie made games like Halo and Destiny? My name is Niall Sankey, and I've been a game developer for over 25 years, 9 of those years at Bungie working on Halo and Destiny. In this video, I'm going to take you on a deep dive into the mission design for Halo 3. Yeah, I worked on two missions on Halo 3. I'm
gonna have to go check that out.
I want to watch that video now.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he had that. That's awesome.
Partway through Halo 3 in 2006, I think, at Bungie. And so I decided, let me just go in sort of chronological order. And so I started with the Storm, which was the first mission I worked on. And I try to go into a lot of details, and I try to actually produce a good sort of retrospective experience because, I guess just being a designer or entertainer, I guess is in my blood. So I kind of just want to make an entertaining experience. So I put a lot of work into that. I interviewed some folks I hadn't talked to in 20 years. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I planned on doing the next video was going to be the Covenant, which was the other mission I worked on for Halo 3.
Okay.
But there was, for some reason, I don't know how, I sort of decided, well, maybe I could do another mission that wasn't mine and treat it more like a bit of a documentary. And so my next video is actually going to be on the mission, The Ark. And so that's the mission right before the Covenant. And it was great because again, I actually expanded the number of people I talked to and reached out to everyone from Francois to Mike Wu. And so the project, the YouTube channel has actually been this additional sort of blessing that it got me to actually reach out to some of the people that I was so close to at Bungie.
Yeah.
And for the purpose of making this video, but it was weird, like talking to people like Rob Stokes, it's almost like not a day had passed, right?
All these people need to come together and make an indie game, in my opinion.
It was just
not like a big Halo game, just something fun, just to, spark the passion again. Because I think sometimes when you get old men together who made something great, they can still make something great when they come back together for nostalgia purposes.
It's like we were hanging out back at the Kirkland office when I was working with Rob Stokes. He was my manager. And honestly, the doing this project, interesting, like listening, when I sort of listened to all, the final, product of the final edit of this video, it almost feels like being back in the Kirkland Ace Hardware building that we worked at. It almost feels like you're back there with the group. So I feel like these videos are kind of one of the closest things that we can give to people to give just the essence of working on the Halo 3 team.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's probably a good way to leave this because it goes into like a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out while I'm playing games later.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, do I have a video in store for you today. Halo's brand new rumored developers Activision have released a game.
Usually when big rumors like this come out and reach the masses, it's probably true. When it comes to video games, I think this is probably true. Why wouldn't it be? Halo Studios is an absolute failure.
This is very, very important for the Halo community because this is a glimpse at what we may get if Activision end up making a Halo game. Every year, I try the beta of the new Call of Duty that comes out. Every year, I am underwhelmed by what I play, and if you ever wanted a video where I go through every...
Yeah, it just makes me want to play the old ones, which I'm doing currently because I have an Xbox 360 with the bad update.
Everything that is wrong with modern gaming, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is it. Guys, in the past, I literally did a video that says Activision, the worst gaming company in the world. I am very measured, I am very reserved, so for me to actually say that, I feel means a lot. I jumped into the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta because I was very, very curious if these guys get a crack at making a Halo game. God help us all. If you ever wanted a video game that is a brain rot simulator, Modern Warfare 4 is your game. Why do I say this? Well, let me go through it. In the Modern Warfare 4 beta, every single map is almost like Nuketown. Now, if you haven't played any sort of Call of Duty, Nuketown 24/7 was basically used as 1, spawn kill simulator, but 2, you would use it to your weapons, unlock skins.
And it was in every fucking Call of Duty.
It is very similar to the map called Shipment, which is a square with a bunch of shipping containers.
Which is very similar to the map called Rust from Modern Warfare 2. That's where all this started.
Single map on the Modern Warfare 4 beta is extremely close quarters, 6v6, instant respawn, people spawn behind you. It is horrible. I don't know what the developers or the executives were thinking when they made this game. There is changes to the aim assist for controller on this game where you actually aim at the person before they even come around the wall. I had it happen to me and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Once I saw that, I swapped to a sniper almost immediately because at least you have to aim with a sniper rifle. But in saying that, I've never seen a Call of Duty game be received worse. I don't want Activision to fail upwards and then get given Halo to work on, and then we get a sloppified version of Halo that is even worse than we've had before. Thankfully, Discord Nitro gives you a free code to the Modern Warfare 4 beta. I've never seen that before, but you Discord. I would not be surprised if this was the worst selling Call of Duty in history. Already half the population on Steam has left within a day. Also today,
shit. Is this going to be the marathon version of Call of Duty?
Going to talk about the skill-based matchmaking. It is the most egregious thing I have ever seen in a modern video game.
I hate skill-based matchmaking.
Halo Infinite had it. Gears of War and Marathon surprisingly didn't have it, and it was quite relaxing, which is great to see. Black Ops 7, the previous Call of Duty, didn't have it, but with Modern Warfare 4, Activision have cranked the skill-based matchmaking 11. Now, I have no problem versing good people ordinarily. The problem I have with skill-based matchmaking is it actually makes your own teammates worse.
I like random matchmaking.
basically forcing you to lose. For Call of Duty specifically though, it has a really big problem that Halo actually doesn't have. When you get very strict skill-based matchmaking on Call of Duty, it forces anybody who is remotely good at the game to use only a of weapons. If you decide to go outside the meta weaponry, do so at your own peril, because you're going to have a horrible time. Everybody you come up against is going to be using the meta guns, the most overpowered of the overpowered. It is funny because I wanted to test the theory. If I didn't use a meta weapon and I use, say, a sniper rifle, my KD when I was using a sniper rifle was only 1 to 1.5. The sniper wasn't great, the marksman rifles are easier to aim with. Would that affect the skill-based matchmaking?
I guarantee you, they're literally just gonna make a Call of Duty Halo game. It's gonna be Call of Duty with a Halo skin over it, and it's gonna be fast-paced, there's gonna be loadouts, all kinds of shit.
And no, it really didn't. Regardless of my performance, every single game was against the best of the best. I was surprised actually I even got enough gameplay for this video that
They're gonna double down on everything everybody hated about Halo Reach.
I played for 12 hours straight, and I actually got some highlights that I can say, yes, I did it. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was exhausted. I said this to FaZe Scope, or he's not in FaZe anymore. I said this to Scope, probably the best sniper in Call of Duty. Man, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you play this all the time. I would actually be exhausted 24/7 if I had to play this all the time. And then I actually checked what people were saying about the game online. Those sentiments were getting echoed across the board. Call of Duty actually published some information about the skill-based matchmaking, saying when they opened it for Black Ops 7, people just left in droves. Something to be considered for the Call of Duty and Activision developers here. If you make it so strict that it is so off-putting that people don't even load up the game, does your algorithm actually factor that in? If the population is halved in a single day, which is not a good sign, and the matchmaking system is so egregiously bad, yes, maybe the data shows that we're quitting, but does it actually take into account how many people just aren't going to play full stop? And that would account for the massive drop off of a cliff.
I ain't playing Call of Duty, and I am a huge Call of Duty fan. Huge for everything that came out Black Ops 2 and before. I haven't played anything since Black Ops 2. I mean, I played a little bit of stuff. I played MW and MW2, the new versions of them. Yeah, they were all right. I disliked MW2 more than MW1 of the new ones. And it wasn't hitting for me. And there were too many ads. There were too many, like, things to buy. I hate storefronts.
Of population you guys are seeing. It is a real shame because mechanically the gun hit registration is great. The kill block game mode where it's 10v10 on a ever-changing map, one life, that is actually quite fun. There is little nuggets of things I really enjoy about the game. But since the matchmaking system,
I want a game that comes out and it's just out and it's finished. And maybe like 1, 2, 3, or 4 DLC packs. Nothing else. No other extras. I don't even want free content dripped into the game. I want the solid game. And if I want DLC, I pay for the DLC. And that's fucking it.
Is so bad that all gets washed away. I always try to be constructive. I always try to give measured feedback. I truly believe this will be the worst selling Call of Duty history. Yearly release after yearly release.
After they promised they weren't going to do that.
After yearly release, not only are people fatigued of the Call of Duty franchise, which means...
What is Call of Duty even anymore? Is it just the first-person shooter online game? Is that all it is? Yes, it's just generic as fuck.
May actually get sent to Halo. That could be an absolute nightmare, guys, but we will see. But people
I
are
hope
also
it happens.
fatigued the crackhead-like movement where everyone is running around like it's world championships. Ironically, on the other side of this, Black Ops 1 and 2 recently released or re-released as a port that sold over 8 million copies and had a really high population. It has the old school matchmaking that Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, every single game
You notice how he's not twitching the fuck around?
Had, and even to this day,
It's
with the
clunkier.
re-release, 8 million sales on Black Ops 2, 3 to 5 million on Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 came out in 2010.
It has more weight.
This egregious skill-based matchmaking isn't going to equal a better population for your game. You need to make a better game. Focus on what made your franchise so great in the first place, and I'm saying this to Call of Duty and Halo. Focus on doing the fundamentals well, and thirdly, have a strong enough content offering that people will actually want to play your game. The slice, the preview that I actually got to play, was not great. The maps were probably the weakest Call of Duty maps I have ever seen. It actually crossed my mind if they were made by AI. So the AI has seen, oh, Nuketown and Shipment are the most popular maps. How can we make a map that is very, very similar to them? It completely destroys the combat loop. There is no combat loop anymore. There is no strategy. It is just a a meat grinder where 95% of players will have a 1 KD, spawn, die, the enemy will respawn behind you, spawn, die some more. Not only this, and this is where Halo does come into it, Call of Duty actually had a very good idea. They made a separate Twitter account for their community managers. That means if you need to talk to a community manager, pass on feedback, or you have things to show said developers, you have a dedicated place to send feedback, and that's a really good idea.
It sounds like a really good idea, but they don't know how to handle community feedback, because anybody who has actual real criticism is just labeled as a hater.
In concept, they didn't use it for that. Instead, Activision and Call of Duty decided to insult said players.
See what I mean, man? They can't take real criticism. They just label real criticism as haters if they hear things that they don't like.
What the hell are you guys doing? If people are already not happy,
real good, talented people don't work for corporations.
With your game, they're not happy with fundamental mechanics in your game, and then you come out and start being a smart ass to said players, you're just asking for it to get screenshotted and just get roasted into oblivion.
What is this? Yeah, this was supposed to be a serious tweet, and we didn't classify it as complaining either, which is why we gave it a serious response earlier. They want us to fight in the comments. 1v Rust, Nuketown, headshots only.
Seeing professional developers actually going after their players, people will screenshot that, it will go viral, that will help set the narrative for the game, and people will actively wish for the game to die. And that's the craziest thing about this game. Usually there's some positives and negatives. I have to grasp at straws to find positives with this game. Where Halo factors into this, and this is the big point, I don't want Activision if they have such an ego working on our franchise. Activision, Infinity Ward, and really a lot of the Call of Duty developers for the longest time, they did whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah, they pushed out all of the good, passionate people who knew what they were doing because they're problematic. They're hard to work with.
For years, they have gone against what players have wanted for Call of Duty, and that has seen a great decline in popularity in the franchise. The only reason why they're even listening a little bit now is because the franchise is actually going down the toilet. I don't want them to come across and make the game that they want. Whoever develops Halo, I don't care who does it, they need to respect legacy and make a Halo game that is truly worth the name.
Or stop spending so much money. If you want to make a game that you want to make, you can't spend $400 million on it.
I posted my brutally honest thoughts about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. I touched on the skill-based matchmaking. I said the gunplay was pretty fun, but it feels so reminiscent of every single past Call of Duty year after year, I can't justify paying for the game when it's the same as last year.
And it's going to have a bunch of the same maps, and I bet most of those same maps that the other Call of Duties will have will still be the most popular maps.
I said the maps suck, and I also said it took me 2 hours to update my BIOS on my motherboard and re-enable secure boot, so many hoops to jump through just to play the damn game. And the problem is, all of those things are done to stop cheating, and there's still cheaters on the beta anyway.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. I'm a Linux player, so I don't get to play a lot of these games that have anti-cheat that are full of cheaters anyway, so I'm just locked out for no reason because the people who make these games are retarded.
Call of Duty actually publishes a tutorial on how to update your motherboard and your BIOS. The website they took me to actually gave me the
No other game does that. Why do you have to do that for Call of Duty? That's so fucking stupid.
Wrong file for the motherboard. I said, I'm not using this. I'm going to go find the official brand, find the specific update I need, and use that instead. And thank God I did. Otherwise, I would have bricked my PC. And there's people in the comment section of said tutorial saying they bricked their PC because they used the wrong file to update their own motherboards. What is this franchise? I say that because what if they put that anti-cheat on Halo? What if
lawsuits incoming?
All of these horrible, horrible things come to Halo. What if they make slopified slop for Halo?
Yeah, I'll give it to current Halo. I was able to play it on Linux. But if they move it on over to the COD devs, I will no longer be allowed to play on Linux.
That is a legitimate concern. If Activision and Infinity Ward have had 4 years and they can't even make something that a modicum of the player base enjoy, and then Xbox is lining them up to work on Halo in future, I don't want it. Am I the only one who feels this way? Trust needs to be earned, not given, and after playing...
They need to be making games for me. All of these companies need to seek me out. Me. Only me. Find games that I want to play and make them. And I guarantee you, if I want to play them, everybody wants to play them.
the beta for 12 hours straight on the first day, and I played I used the regular weapons, I used the sniper, I used everything. It is just straight up not a good video game. Maybe I would feel better if there was more variety. As I said, variety is the spice of life when it comes to video games. If I want to use a funny weapon or a funny class, want to run around with a knife, you know, do goofy things like that, that's just not possible. Then because of the skill-based matchmaking, which expects me to drop so many kills at the time, I'm actively throwing the game. My teammates aren't good enough to carry if I just relax and goof off. That's not a good sign. For all of the good, there is probably 10 things that are bad. The worst thing of all is the matchmaking system, followed very closely by the maps, because if the maps aren't even good, I don't even want to play it. I also don't know why there's Captain Price from Temu. He looks horrible, and I don't know what they were thinking with that either. I am very curious to see how many people play this game. I am very curious to see what the sales numbers are going to be for this game. If even the Call of Duty content creators are fatigued after a day, they're not going to play it for very long, and if they're not going to play it for very long, and it's their job to play the game, I can't see casual people sticking around.
Are there any big games for like content creators to attach themselves to? Because we got like Marathon, we got Call of Duty, we got Halo, we got all of the free-to-play games that have been out for fucking a decade or more. We ain't got nothing right now for content creators to eat, other than like random indie games and the like Chinese games.
I can't see tryhard sticking around. And if it's not for them, who the hell is going to play this game? Probably no one. I really think Call of Duty needs to stop being a yearly release. It is not doing the franchise any favors.
I don't think it's going to fix it to make a like multi-year release. I don't think that's going to change anything. It might even make it worse because they're going to try and do too much.
People are tired of Call of Duty. I'm actually seeing people just wishing Call of Duty would go away, and that is never a good sign.
Just don't buy it. Stop buying it.
In any case, let me know what you think.
A lot of people I know that play Call of Duty buy every Call of Duty because they've always bought every Call of Duty, and they play it even though they hate it. And I watch them having a terrible time, but they still keep picking it up. It's like heroin, man. It all sucks except for when you get that really, really, really good high and then it's the greatest thing ever. I ain't into it. I'd rather have a good time the whole time.
Think of Modern Warfare 4, I really wanted to like this game. I really wanted to go in and say, yes, I love this, love the sniping, hit registration was fantastic, had a blast, really great time. Even after getting really good gameplay, really good clips, felt like more of a chore than something I actually enjoyed. And video games are all about fun. It is funny because I would rather play Halo
Now, video games have become a job. You have to be good at everything about the video game, because that's how you be a successful streamer.
Campaign Evolved, I had more fun on that than Call of Duty. Even Gears of War, I had so much fun on that. I did not have fun on Call of Duty. I could not recommend it to you guys in all good conscience. Stay away from this game at all costs. There is even popular content creators saying do not buy Modern Warfare 4. I'm going to reiterate, do not buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. It is not a good game.
Yep. Eat up the goy slop, everybody. Buy yourselves a new Call of Duty. It's slightly different than the last dozen.
One of the biggest video game leaks of all time, and Rockstar Games and their parent company Take-Two Interactive have absolutely no idea who is behind it and how to stop them. That's where we are. We're multiple days into this, and there's no slowdown with the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks, as Rockstar Games and Take-Two races to find any lead to get the whereabouts of this individual and finally stop them. As confirmed by Bloomberg's Jason Schreier's reporting, we know that Rockstar Games is struggling to find out even how this leak has happened. We've also seen that on the legal side, they have been extremely active
how it
over the
happened.
last couple.
They had connections for all of their services through the internet into their hardware directly on the floor. I guarantee you this had something to do with a cloud service hack.
Couple of days, we have seen subpoenas sent over to Discord, Twitter X, Google, as well as Microsoft, all pushing to find any single mention of this cyber leak, anybody who has a connection to this person, and try and track them down. The problem also right now is that there is various users that have been LARPing as this person, or joking, just mentioning things in passing. But
even Jack's Films got in, and he was like, yeah, I beat GTA 6.
Rockstar Games, they are going to leave no stone unturned, and that is what's playing out right now in real life. In 2022, when Grand Theft Auto 6 suffered its first massive data breach in which 60 to 70 in-development videos of Grand Theft Auto 6 leaked, they were able to track down the teenager that was responsible within it felt like hours. That situation, though, very different than this one, and it is because
it really shows you the incompetence when a teenager can get in. Sure, very, very smart teenager. But just imagine when a company that, you know, they have funds. They've got even more now because of the crypto ring that they're running. Imagine when they want to get into your company. And I bet that they're not the only ones. I bet there are other people that already have gotten in.
The individual behind this leak, hack, whatever you want to call it, cyberleak, is a little bit more sophisticated with hiding his identity. On hacking forums in 2022, the Teapot individual...
It's probably a team that's in like fucking Bangladesh or something.
Behind that leak, hackers were laughing about it because they knew who it was, and they made Rockstar and the authorities' job very, very easy with finding that in. This one, though, sophisticated. He knows what he's doing, he's hiding, and he's also making a lot of money off his cryptocurrency. All of this, though, is a massive problem for Rockstar Games,
honestly,
as the leaks just keep on.
Like, this guy is an anti-hero like the guy who leaked the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
And they seemingly struggle to identify who was responsible for what is arguably one of the biggest video game leaks of all time.
I think it literally is. If they drop the build, oh boy, this is going to be historical.
Now, one of the biggest leads apparently came the other day in which a Reddit account posted that they were friends of a friend of CyberLeak. This is a post that came about a month ago where somebody said, August 18th, look out for that date. And then just the other day responded to people saying, did you know about CyberLeak? And he's joked around saying, oh, he's just a friend of a friend. The problem is that Take-Two Interactive, the Rockstar Games community, took that serious. They believe that this was proof that this individual was behind the big Grand Theft Auto 6 leak, and you saw various individuals within this, TGG even making light of this, one of the biggest Grand Theft Auto YouTubers. They all went insane saying, imagine this guy is the CyberLeak. He knows who CyberLeak is. And Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games, they sent their investigators out to this individual to track him down and at least start a conversation and threaten him. Intimidation tactics, something that Rockstar Games and Take-Two,
they sent the goon squad,
especially, are very infamous. They've done this with Grand Theft Auto modders in the past. They've done this with Borderlands YouTubers in the past with stuff that they've posted.
I remember the YouTube thing for Borderlands because I used to be in the Borderlands community.
On their accounts and such. They have a reputation.
I think I covered it on this channel.
And this individual posted some tidbits of this conversation that he had with the private investigators. The first was the one that started getting a lot of people talking, and it was them knocking on his door saying that they were representing Rockstar Games.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad on yourself.
Sorry, what's your...
Yeah, how can I help? What's this about?
My name's David.
Okay.
I'm here on behalf of Rockstar.
Okay.
Now that is just the beginning of the situation, because next we have a 1-minute clip of this individual having, again, a discussion with these private investigators in which they accuse this person.
Yeah, I would be telling them to fuck right off, but I'm also American, so yeah, I'd be telling them to fuck right off. I'd be like, yeah, I know CyberLeak, get the fuck out of here.
Lewis of knowing CyberLeak, concealing information about his identity.
Like, what are you gonna do about it, bitch? I'm just a friend of a friend. You can't do nothing.
They threaten him. They pretty much say that they'll give search warrants. They're going to go through his electronic.
Rockstar gonna send search warrants
and track down who CyberLeak is. The problem again is that this individual Lewis was just making a joke online and had no idea what this was going to lead to.
Yeah, and that doesn't matter to Rockstar. This shit is actually dystopian when a mega corporation can just pay the authorities to go after you just because they don't like you.
Right, basically what they're saying is they're not happy with that.
They're not happy with it?
Oh, they're not happy. Obviously, what they're doing now is they're on the phone to the lawyers.
Okay.
So
I don't know what to tell you because that's 100% the story. So
yeah, they're not happy with that. So I don't know if they've heard that from somewhere else or what.
Rockstar's not happy.
They're talking about me. Yeah. Okay, so what, they're going to get a search warrant for
Take-Two, whatever.
Don't know, not sure. But basically, they're on the phone to the lawyers now. To sort of like your last chance to say.
Is this a scare tactic to try to get me to fess up?
It's not. We're not looking for any fess up. We're not looking for... Basically, what we're after is, do you know certain individuals under certain handles?
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, please. I wish he would have said yes. He probably denies it. I would have said yes. I would have straight up lied to them because these people aren't law enforcement. Especially if this was in the United States, they definitely aren't.
No.
Give them bad information.
That's what we're after.
Don't do that to cops. But if it's just like random bozos coming up to your house who are there for Take-Two because you may know somebody who leaked a video game, get fucked.
Ultimately, that's what they're after. And I think keep on pushing that because obviously, at the end of the day, if you put something out online, then guess the date. Just due to pure chance.
You're being investigated on the pure chance. You have been determined that you are guilty before proven innocent.
The only reason, well, the only reason I checked Rockstar.
And as you can see, yeah, the private goons, they definitely...
You know what I think about Take-Two and Rockstar? You're gay!
Definitely know what they're doing here, and this was just the beginning of a conversation because, as they alluded to, they got Take-Two lawyers on the line, which again accused Lewis of knowing who CyberLeak is and trying to hide his identity.
Oh man, yeah. Oh fuck, they would have a heyday with me.
And I have to next add that I actually had a conversation with Lewis, and he added a lot more details about what exactly has happened here and how this has led to just a giant shitstorm, to say at the very least. But he does go into detail about the specific threats that Take-Two Interactive's lawyers and these PIs used against him. He mentions how they already knew much of his identity, his travels to America, how the FBI is involved. He mentions
a video game company just asked for the information. Just imagine some bad actor that just wanted to go get the information. Apparently, it's just easy to obtain.
It's the scare tactics of bringing about what happened to the 2022 leaker and how he's in jail. His connection to another YouTuber, Larry Lawson, is also brought up here. There's just a lot here, including how his family is...
My take on GTA, if you buy a Rockstar game, you're goyim. You are a fucking moron. You hate everything that's going on in the world, yet you still keep funding it. You deserve what you fucking get, which is slop. Eat it up, piggies.
It's a bit shaken based on how these events have inspired. But we're going to start first with how this all began. The first knock at his door, in which he mentions that he was awoken to all of this.
Yeah, well, because my mum woke me up. I was just got off a night shift. I was sleeping, and then she said there's 2 men at the door. So I'm immediately thinking I'm going to have to get into a fight here. I thought I was about to get killed. So I start recording, and you hear in the first video that I posted, I sounded a little bit nervous. But in the minute longer video, once I realised who they were, it was a sigh of relief to me. Said they were from Rockstar. I was like, oh, thank.
They're from Rockstar.
You know how it is, but yeah.
So as Lewis says there, 2 men approached his door. They were looking for him, and he didn't know what their motivation or anything. He thought that they were...
What is this that I'm looking at right now? This looks like shit. This car looks like it's floating above the road. Is this the definitive edition GTA? It looks very blocky and gross.
There maybe to fight him. I don't know exactly Lewis's history or what's exactly going on over there in the UK, but he definitely thought that this was going to be a fight or something along those lines, not Rockstar Games investigators there to talk to him about Reddit posts that he made. Next, though, Lewis goes over what he initially tells these private investigators, that he was literally just trying to predict Trailer 3. He didn't expect that this was going to turn into something as massive as it has been.
But I said to them, look, I just predicted Trailer 3 as a mid-August Tuesday, and it turned out that the leaks happened on that day, and then they fucking somehow tied that in with me and being cyberleaked. I was trying to annoy the people in that Reddit on purpose, because they don't appreciate Rockstar, and they were bitching about the game. So I was just shit posting to troll them, and then it backfired, but it is what it is.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of how jokes...
Yeah, you're not allowed to joke anymore.
...can go terribly wrong, in which you have...
Especially if you're in the UK.
...private investigators by your doorstep, not believing anything you're saying.
By the way, a lot of people think that Rockstar is an American company. They are not. They're from the UK.
And this entire fiasco is something that, who knows if this is the end for Lewis. Like, we could see an update soon that these private investigators are back and now have warrants for his electronic devices. But it definitely sounds like to me that this...
They have warrants for his electronic devices, even though he didn't do anything.
This was just a troll, a joke. He just didn't expect that this is the direction that things were going to go in.
So that tells you everything that you need to know, that corporations, if they want to go after you, they can. Because they can just pay the authorities to go after you. They don't even have to actually pay them directly like a bribe. It's just the connections that corporations have to governments.
This is serious stuff, especially being that this is one of the biggest franchises ever, and billions of dollars are at stake, and they have everything. They have to track down this CyberLeak individual, because if they don't, there's the possibility spoilers and some massive damaging footage could get out. That's the big unknown that right now they face, and all of us. But Lewis next goes over the reality of this situation and how his Reddit account is very public, has a bunch of identifying information. It doesn't make sense why he would put out just there saying like, I know CyberLeak, he's my BFF, we're friends of friends. It was clearly a joke. Unfortunately though, the Rockstar community already was doxing him.
Yeah, Rockstar made this worse. If they wouldn't have done something like this straight up out in the open where everybody could see it online, then you wouldn't have so many people now saying that they know CyberLeak or that they are CyberLeak, making everything much, much more difficult for you. You fucking morons. You deserve what you get.
Soulful bitch! Even before it seems like these Take-Two investigators were investigating him, they're putting out all this information about him, creating like a manifesto. So yeah, this individual is right now facing the full wrath of the Grand Theft Auto community because many of them do believe that he is hiding information about this CyberLeak identity.
Yeah, well, you know what the funny thing is people are going crazy, but why would I post something serious on my main Reddit account with all public information about me? I mean, there's so much identifying shit on there that I don't care about. Like, why would I do stupid? I mean, my dad, before he passed, he was into all the cybersecurity shit. I'm pretty clued up on that stuff, and I know that doesn't matter. They still bypass that, but...
So up to this point in time of recording this video, Lewis has released 2 videos showing these private investigators approaching and their initial discussion with Lewis. But Lewis next goes over what exactly happened after. He talks about the scare...
But honestly, good for Lewis, because now he's part of gaming history. Everybody's gonna know Lewis as the guy that Rockstar tried to take down over a joke.
Tactics that they used, including the mention that the FBI is involved and are going to be investigating all of this as well.
And then they went back to their cars and they were talking to each other. I could see them out of the...
FBI? Aren't they in the UK? What the fuck does the FBI got to do with this?
Upstairs window.
A video game, by the way!
In my house, and I think they were working out a new tactic or a different angle to come at me with, because initially they tried to intimidate me, big words, mentioning the FBI, and said they're on the case and stuff. And I didn't buy any of it, and then sort of went back, had a chat, and then come back, and then got the Take-Two lawyers on the phone, and I think that was their next intimidation step, but again, that didn't work, and then they sort of looked pretty confused on what to say. They stood there silent in my house, texting. So yeah, and then they stopped.
Good for this guy for taking it like a champ and actually going through all their rigmarole to get all this information, because I wouldn't have done that. I would have fucked everything up.
So next up, Lewis goes over his first conversation with the Take-Two lawyers, and like the private investigators, like that initial video that he shared online, they do not believe him. They do not care what he has to say. They believe that he knows who CyberLeak is, and they want answers.
Yeah, I spoke to the Take-Two lawyers, and they said, look, we're all sitting around the table. This is your last chance to be honest with us.
Yeah, I would have been like, yeah, sue me, bitch. I know everything. I know who the guy is. I know where he goes for lunch. I'm going to have dinner with him on Saturday at the Golden Corral.
Or this is going to get worse for you. And I'm like, all right, well, I told you the truth, and I'm not going to lie to you, kid.
I will.
I said that. That's on record. So I was like, you just woke me up coming to my door with this bullshit. I told you the truth. If you don't like it, you can cough or do something about it. That's the way it is.
And yeah, as you heard in that video, he clearly mentions that the FBI is investigating.
The FIB, the FIB.
And I do wonder their role within this entire trackdown.
Isn't that so fucking ironic? Where they're talking about working with the FBI, and they used to make fun of the FBI.
If they are working closely with Take-Two lawyers to...
They have become everything that they parodied in their previous games.
Give them information on these individuals to then contact them and such. It's unclear exactly what the FBI is doing here, but again, Take-Two Interactive, massive company, billions of dollars, them having more of a role with the authorities would make a lot of sense, especially because in 2022, they had a lot of access with the UK police and the FBI. They were all investigating the hacker, and that seemingly is exactly what's going down right now with CyberLeak, although this time around, they're not having much luck so far with finding.
They're actively making things worse.
And they're just trying to find any lead possible. And I think that's what this is. They're throwing anything at the wall, just hoping that it sticks. But so far, there just isn't much here. Although, unfortunately for Lewis, they're ready to turn his life upside down just off the sliver of hope that maybe he's being serious and maybe he's not joking and he is best friends with this guy CyberLeague. Although that would make no sense with any of this, because I don't think CyberLeague would be that sloppy. And I think that's the feeling that a lot of people have on this.
Absolutely. Look how crazy this is going on the internet. Some conspiracy theories.
It is.
And they're actively monitoring my Reddit, and they see the that I'm putting on there. Because when they were in my house, they actually said to me, the lawyers have told us what you put on your Reddit. And I said, yeah, I'm well within my fucking right to tell them what's going on. You know, you haven't charged me with a crime. I'm allowed to speak about it. There's not an ongoing court case against me. But apparently I'm being looked at by the FBI, so they're probably scrutinizing trips to America.
He's not. They probably looked and were like, yeah, it's not this guy.
Did they mention that? Did they mention the FBI?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all on record, sir. And they mentioned my trips to America because I've been there.
So they already knew that stuff about you? They already knew, like, oh, you've been...
It's not hard to find.
Been to America? We already have access to all who you are, Lewis, and all of that?
Yeah. So I don't know how this is going to affect long term, if they're going to cancel my visas and shit. I don't know. But I'm not worried about it. I'll just see what happens and play it out.
Next, though, you need to understand who Larry Lawton is. This individual, his relationship with Lewis is weaponized. So Lewis in the past served as a...
I know Larry Lawton. I know this guy. Isn't he the... Yeah, he's the jewel thief. I saw him on a podcast. What was it, the Sean Ryan podcast?
A live stream moderator for Larry Lawton. And Lawton apparently in the past has talked about how he has some sort of relation. People will have to track that down. I'm not entirely sure if that's actually accurate, but it's something that Lewis has said on his social media account. He says that he is...
I believe him. Dude is kind of a badass.
He's a good friend. I worked for him as a moderator before his live streams. He has a connection with GTA 6, I believe, from a statement that he has made. But people, including Take-Two Interactive, seemingly imply, or they basically say it to him, that Larry Lawton, maybe that he's an insider for Larry Lawton, and that's the actual individual behind all of this. And Larry Lawton is a YouTuber. He runs a channel. He's actually interviewed people like Ned Luke in the past. He's also done breakdowns for Grand Theft Auto, but he's known...
I don't think that this guy's going to be doing that.
For being an ex-convict, and he's talking...
He would make so much more money and clout from just riding on the coattails of GTA. Why would he be a leaker?
Talked about his experiences of jewel heists and stuff in the past, and that's relevant to a game like Grand Theft Auto. He's had a bunch of mega viral videos in the past.
Well, he's a criminal. He does heists, and he's a thief. Of course he's involved with the cyber leaks.
But seemingly that relationship, the fact that Lewis was a live stream moderator, gets weaponized by Take-Two Interactive.
They tried to bring up my connection with the YouTuber Larry Lawton. So he came out one time. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a big YouTuber. He went to prison. He was a big jewel thief or whatever. And he does podcasts.
I've heard of him, yeah.
But yeah, they tried to tie him into it as well and say that his connection with Rockstar Games, because he's come out publicly and said in one of his that he's working with them on something. They've now said that he's mine.
So they're throwing that dude under the bus, saying that he's possibly got something to do with this, just straight up making that relationship toxic. Well, okay. All right, then.
Insider, but I don't talk to the guy regularly. You know, he's just somebody I know and I've worked for in the past.
Yeah, my view on this is just that Take-Two Interactive, they're grasping at straws, trying to believe, I guess, that these intimidation scare tactics are going to get him to confess to something that I think he obviously didn't. But they do go on to mention, this is another scare tactic, the 2022 leaker, and they use what happened to that individual in which they were put in a jail, although I think it's like some sort of asylum because there are mental issues been going on. But they pretty much say that, look what happened to that guy. Could happen to you if, you know, you actually do know what's happening here. And again, they don't believe anything he's saying. They don't believe that he was just hinting at Trailer 3.
Put the lawyers on loudspeaker on the phone, and I can't remember what he said, but they said, no, I told them the same story, and they said they're not buying it. And they sat around the table in New York, and they basically told me what they did in the 2022 leaker after they found him to try and intimidate me and sort of pushing me to come clean about something.
Oh, man. Fuck, man. I wish they'd investigate me, because I'd come clean. I'd tell them all of the information. It'd all be bad information.
And yes,
yeah, he's my best friend.
Yeah, that's really what
So yeah, after all of these...
Actually, I am the leaker.
Accusations, all of these crazy theories that Take-Two lawyers and the private investigators are throwing at Lewis, they leave. But they don't, there's no definitive end to this situation because they literally just leave. He has no idea what to expect, what's to come, if anything.
No, they left. They were stood in my house. They were waiting some lawyers in New York to call them back, so they said, and then without saying a word, they just left and drove off. I Obviously, I left the house, moved my stuff, come back, and they were still there. And yeah, so I'm expecting to get arrested at any moment. You know, it's 3 a.m. I'm just waiting for the front door to go.
So after this discussion about...
He's probably going to get arrested by the UK government because he was telling jokes online. You can't do that in the UK. Jokes are illegal.
What exactly happened with these investigators and all of this, I did again ask Lewis, does he know who CyberLeak is? And he made crystal clear he has absolutely no idea who this individual is.
Well, of course he'd say that.
Many expletives would.
Yeah, I ain't got a fucking clue. And, you know, I put that post up saying August 18th, don't ask me how I know. And I was just taking the piss, you know. And then it turned out to actually on that day, and I'm like, oh.
Lewis then further adds that he was completely honest with these investigators. He said exactly what happened to them, and he's ultimately ready for wherever this goes. Whether that brings him to court, he doesn't care. He thinks it's going to be absolutely hilarious if they go to those lengths with this situation.
Oh, I hope they do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best part is that I was completely upfront and honest with them. And I told them exactly what had happened, and now they want to make it a big deal, so I'm all for it. If they take me to court, I hope they arrest me publicly. I want to be on news because there'll be a story. I don't give a shit. I'll laugh about it in 2 years.
And he's not just going to be on the news. This is going to be an international situation on social media.
Years time, and I'll be having a great time. So I don't give a shit. I'm just sat here smoking a cigarette, waiting for the door to get kicked in or blown off by SAS soldiers.
And like many watching, Lewis is another Grand Theft Auto fan. He's eagerly anticipating GTA 6, but all he was doing in his eye...
But for all of the wrong reasons.
Shitposting on social media, making a couple jokes with the GTA community, and didn't think too much of it. But when you're dealing with billion-dollar companies, they take this stuff very, very seriously, and this is the consequence. It really is a great lesson on the dangers of being a little too open on social media or making jokes about situations that, at least in Take-Two eyes, it's not a joke. And right now they are struggling. They can't find the CyberLeak guy and any mention of it.
I know who CyberLeak is. I know where he is. I know what he's doing. I know when he poops. Come get me, Rockstar.
On any single website, they are using that as an investigation tool. I have to assume that they're sending investigators all across the world for any possibility of finding this guy. But thus far, it doesn't seem like any of these leads have gone anywhere. Still, though, I did ask Lewis if he has a message for Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive. And again, a lot of expletives said, but he does have a message.
Yeah, you can go f*** yourself personally because, look, I'm a 19-year-old from Suffolk, England. I don't give a f*** what anybody knows about me or what anybody says they're going to do. You can come do something about it. I'm not related to this at all. I'm not scared by your big corporation, your $1 billion like that. I do not give a come do it. Give me a story to tell.
Badass.
That's my message to Rockstar and Take-Two and those lawyers.
Ultimately, though,
based. I need a based button.
The consequences of this entire ordeal isn't just something linked to Take-Two investigators coming to his door. It's also linked to the fact that people on social media are, some of these diehard GTA fans will send just nasty things. They also want him to monetize this entire ordeal, this situation. It's a lot, and there's a lot of conspiracies about his name and everything. It's just crazy how overboard this fan base can be at times.
I mean, there's people making crypto coins in my name, and
are they really?
The funny part, and yeah, there was people sparring about what Pilot X-19 meant. I'm just like, that was my dad's old Reddit name. Like, not some weird Illuminati secret society crap. I mean, seriously?
And the final touch of this interview that I wanted to bring up was the emotional toll this has been on Lewis's family, having these investigators approach, making these just insane accusations. And Lewis does talk about how there's been doxing. People are already doing that for him. I showed some of that off earlier on the video. There's also been threats that have been levied against him. Like I said, some of these people in this GTA fan base go way over.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you got a game that's that big, of course you're going to have a whole bunch of retards behind it. Whole bunch of scary degenerates who are willing to murder you, to, like, send the SWAT to your house over some just random information that you found online. And then you go through all of these brain traps and go through these cycles and all of these conspiracies, all these conspiracy theories, I mean, and you convince yourself that it's all fucking real. And it's a game that they're playing. They're playing a game because they're waiting to play GTA. And they're taking it very, very serious because they take their GTA game playing very, very serious. If you fuck up their game while they're playing GTA 5, if you fuck up their session that they've been working on for 3 hours, they will SWAT you.
And this entire ordeal, it seems like there is some pure hatred for this Cyber League guy. Some of these people will go to bat for a company like Rockstar Games. I don't understand.
Those people are fucking deranged.
It, but yes, people are diehard fans, and that some are really, really that mad about all of this.
Yeah, but I'm not going to let them get away with it that easily, coming to my door and bringing my family home and scaring my
I don't blame you.
Shit, like, and trying to intimidate me. So they better compensate me, because people are acting me death threats, trying to dox me like that. Not that I give a.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sue him, brother.
But because if you're gonna come do something, come do it and just see what happens. But
yeah, that's why I was curious earlier. Was your family at all alarmed by what was happening with all of this?
Absolutely. I mean, my mother's in a high emotional state. She just lost her husband, and then for this to be brought upon us isn't great. So, but,
over a video game,
handles the consequences. Don't care.
Over a video game and a joke on Reddit.
Anyway, this is just an absolute bizarre first-hand account of somebody talking with Take-Two investigators. I mean, this is something that's happened over the years, but having an account like this and even some footage of it, it's just kind of crazy. But it shows the seriousness of this Grand Theft Auto 6 situation, and it also exposes some of the actual things going on behind the scenes, how the authorities are working alongside Take-Two and Rockstar to track down and find who this leaker is. But again, doesn't seem like they're having much luck right now. I do want to thank Lewis for taking the time very late to have this interview, discussion about what exactly happened, and I do think there is a lesson to be learned here, and it really is. You just got to be careful when joking about even a video game, something like this. This is billion-dollar company.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't be careful. We got free speech over here in America, baby. It sucks the dude was over in the UK. Maybe he should be in America.
They take this stuff so serious.
The place is a shithole.
And especially a company like Take-Two Interactive, they have a reputation for this type of stuff, and we don't know where if this is the end of this. Are they going to apply search warrants? That's the big thing. These threats,
probably.
Are they empty threats? There's just no clarity on that for the time being, but this is a company that right now is very desperate to find this person, and right now there's not much luck happening. But I will have Lewis's social medias linked down below if you want to listen to him or have discussion about this situation, because he is very open, talking about how he is innocent, and he's really trying to clear his name with it. Let me know your thoughts on this entire ordeal down in the comments section below.
Rockstar, I got a message for you.
You're gay!
Now we're running on over to the next portion of the show. Follywood. Absolute cinema. The fall of Hollywood. Let's fucking go.
AOC said that woke 1.0 was so crazy.
It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, we went too far. Which means there's woke 2.0. And you cover film, things like this quite a bit. I mean, I watch your stuff all the time. Are you seeing that play out?
Hobbies unite and politics divides. So the two things are mutually exclusive, and when they infect, because that's what it is, leftism is a disease of the mind.
True,
and
based.
so when they infect stuff like this, they ruin it.
So we actually have a guest coming up, and here's the thing. I've watched his videos for a long time. It was actually shown to me by my brother a while ago. And I remember thinking, hey, you know what? I think this guy is inherently more right-leaning. But I never, I see this quite a bit online, and I never want to pull them out of the closet like what happened with the Hodge twins at one period in time where the one brother found out the other brother voted for Mitt Romney. They got into a physical fight. I was like, okay, so I want to avoid that. But now he's waded into some of these social issues. And I don't want to mischaracterize him, but he's great. If you want to deep dive on some historical videos on his channel, it's Metatron YT on YouTube and Pure Metatron on X. Please welcome to the show. I'm very excited, Mr. Metatron. Metatron, how are you, sir? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you. Thanks so much for having me on, Stephen.
And he's recently a dad based.
I'm so glad to have you on. And I apologize. Early on the show, I said you were Greek, and then they informed me that you're not. You're a Guinea.
That's exactly.
I don't know where I got that you were. Probably because so many of your videos, center around history, and there have been so many inaccurate adaptations.
He's a Medi. He's a Mediterranean.
Maybe of Greek mythology, things like, do you think maybe that's why? Because you seem to cover a lot of the Greek stuff, and usually Italians and Greeks don't get along that well.
No, we love each other. Una faccia, una razza is what we say, one face, one race. Particularly because I'm from down south, I'm from Sicily, so the very, very Greek, if you will. And also because, they were one of the reasons why I talk about ancient Greece.
Don't Italians and Sicilians hate each other?
Just because of all the LGBTQ propaganda stuff.
That's a very interesting one, because you've touched on this probably better than anyone I've seen. And let me just ask you, well, first, a couple of questions. You started off as a history guy on YouTube. And like I said, a lot of that, and I think a lot of people have misconceptions about, they're like, well, the Greeks were super gay. It's like, well, yeah, they'd have like a boy on the side, but they still didn't have gay marriage. They'd be like, well, you do that as like a power move. You don't marry him. Come on, we're not absurd. How has that morphed into what you're doing now? Because you still do history, but like I said, I never want to mischaracterize you. I know you've waded into more culture politics too.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. So it started 12 years ago, mostly history and language, because before doing YouTube, I was in high school.
I didn't know that.
Worked to the EU funds of university and research itinerant. So I would go to Sardinia, Sicily, north of Italy, south of Italy. But then what I would do is that because history is my passion, then after teaching foreign language acquisition, I have a degree in Japanese, minor in Mandarin. Then, after school, I would come home and be like, hey, what did the Romans, Imperial Rome, Western civilization, the glory of
Rome,
the medieval period and all that. And so
ancient Rome, not current Rome.
Started making videos about it. And then people started asking questions, not just about the helmet, the armor, the shield, but were the ancient Egyptians black? And I would say, no. Were the Greeks black? No. What about, were they all gay? No. And so transgender Viking, I don't know if you heard about that one. We can talk about it if you want.
Yes.
I started answering questions, which means I got hated by the...
There was a single transgender Viking. That means that trans has always existed. No, that's not how that works.
Left. So they started calling me a bigot. I'm a proud bigot, by the way, very proud bigot.
Yeah, good for you.
Make sure we're clear. And so all of that counterattack, I started weighing more on the culture war, always in connection to history.
Right.
Until 1 year ago. 1 year ago, Charlie Kirk dies, I explode.
Yeah.
So I started making hit pieces on Hassan Piker, Destiny, and all these people. And I removed my channel policy, which used to be, I only talk politics when in connection to history. So they asked me about the Vikings, they asked me about the Greeks, the Romans.
Yeah, unfortunately, now we are living through history.
Medieval, whatever. Now I don't. Now I'll talk about whatever, because someone has to do it. And in the educational sphere, they are terrified of being called buzzwords.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
Do you think a part of it is you also realize that, well, right now you're living history? This is that fracturing of, if you're going to talk about, an empire, the United States, this is sort of that era. And we're seeing the fractures right now. So you felt like it was necessary to take a side?
Not just the United States.
Also because I have an invested interest. I'm a father, I have a son. He is American because, I live in the US. He entered legally through the proper channel as anyone should, with the little bit of morality and respect for this great country. And my wife is American, my son is American, and I want him to live in a society that doesn't judge him for his skin.
He wants to be able to walk to the store without being attacked by a mob of goblins.
This anti-white rhetoric that we've got everywhere that I've addressed a few times, which is absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
And there's that.
I thought you were going to say judge him for his skin, like being half black because you're Sicilian, and we all know how that goes. But come on. There's somewhere down. If you do 23andMe, you're like, there's this guy behind your woodshed. But let me ask you this. I want to rapid fire because I remember a few that really stuck out. I want to get to Viking Barbie. Cleopatra, when that happened, that was a big controversy. Was Cleopatra black?
No. Documentary. They turned the entire family black, not just her. One of the most inbred families that kept as genetically pure as much as they could. In fact, inbred. They would not touch. No, yeah, they turned everyone black. It was insane.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It's really funny. They made everybody black, and also everybody knows that that family was inbred. It's just... They don't realize how racist they are.
Everyone was black. By the way, did you ever see Rome on HBO that predated Game of Thrones? Yes. Cleopatra in there turned out was quite a bit more accurate. She was quite the whore.
I mean, politically, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, she had
with a political spin.
Was it? Let me ask you this: is this true? Because I know that, as I understand it, it's not. But there was a rumor for a very long time that she would have a gourd of bees and use it as a vibrator. And I understand that's not true, but there were sort of Egyptian sex objects.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not specialized in Egyptian sex toys, but
since when?
You're no Italian. You're supposed to be a lover. Let me ask you about. Okay, you mentioned transgender Viking. That's one that maybe some people here aren't familiar with.
Yeah, no, that was insane. Because again, I have a team, and which people, very capable researchers to help me out with the history. And the thing is that so there was this story pushed by the left where they were saying that they found these bones, and the bones were, well, female, not that they would use that word, female bones, and then next to shields and axes. So of course, what would you think? First thing come to your mind is that like an actual shield maiden? Is that real? No, they say no, it's a transgender man, meaning
I remember seeing this. This shit's fucking stupid.
Woman, a female who identifies.
It's like they came to conclusions without evidence.
As a man, not pushing this idea. It's complete nonsense. We look into it, and my team and I were like amazed. Okay, so basically they mixed the bones with the funerary kits. No one knows. This is said on the museum page. Mm-hmm. All you need is a click, not a deep analysis. They mix the bones. We don't know if the bones belong to that funerary kit. So the whole story they spun about transgender Vikings, which is nonsense, no such a thing, was based on nothing. And it's thin air, but that's what it is.
Yeah, and you see that a lot too. You'll see it, for example, like when they go two-spirited. That's a bit, they'll go, there are many Native American communities that, and really the term was invented only a few decades ago, but you also find some people that are like, oh, okay, he's a little light in the loafers, I guess we'll tolerate him. But the idea that society was based around countless genders, there are no examples of that actually being the case, even if there are outliers, but they present it as, see, this was the norm. We're the first people to not get it.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's complete insanity, and it's propaganda. It's what it is. And you have to stand up for it, because now it used to.
And it comes from the man at the top of the world. Not really a man, a demon, the king of the demons, Satan. He runs this world.
Be just a bunch of woke nonsense, but now it's in academia and it's systematic.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because you mentioned at the museum how you're only one click away. You know, we saw what I believe was Donald Trump in the Smithsonian. How much do you see this, as being a history professor? Do you see it in the institutions where they completely disregard accuracy in order to push an agenda? Because it seems unbelievably rampant.
Yeah, and it's basically a copycat of what happened in the 20th century with totalitarian regimes, because that's what they did. The Nazis did it. The fascists in Italy did it. It was a thing, not to mention USSR, communist, Stalin, whatever. They take control of the educational system, because that way they can make sure they can breed a new solid voting bloc. This is what it is. Yeah. So while they are propagandizing everything, and you really think about it, how can we use the same term, university graduate, someone with a degree, when it comes to someone with hard science background, someone who can engineer the transistors of a chip and send people to space, and someone with a degree in gender ideology?
Right. Well, I think no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying the first one helps with the betterment of our species. The second one is parasitic in nature, and it's only.
And now it's problematic if you go against all of these teachings, even if you are a guy that knows how to make transistors and how to go to space and shit. If you don't fall in line, you don't get that job. And that's why everything is so shit right now. It's why we were hearing stories about pilots being shit. We were hearing stories about plane crashes. It's because all of the good people were pushed out because they're problematic, because of their opinions and their backwards sensibilities.
A way to become a vector of propaganda is what it is.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because I think the primary difference too, and this gives us a path forward, you look at, fascists in Italy or U.S. authoritarianism or the Nazis.
Real fascists.
People look at it historically and go, okay, those who had political power, meaning you're the president, you're the prime minister, you're the supreme ruler, right? They used history as a form of propaganda. Whereas in the United States, they'll go, hey, Donald Trump is president, so that can't happen. They don't understand that it's about seizing institutions, and this is the failure of conservatives, of the right, where we have allowed subversive, like the left and the Marxists, to seize power of institutions, so it's actually at odds with our society. It's not propaganda for those in political power, it's propaganda for those who fought this long, slow march.
Absolutely. And then you see situations. I don't understand how someone like a Sam Piker is invited and given a microphone to, regardless of the rhetoric he has pushed. And by the way, can we talk about this?
Yeah, he's evil. They're evil. They love evil. He says the evil things that they like to say. so he gets invited to all of the evil propaganda events.
It's freaking Mao Zedong
that evil people buy into, and then they repeat.
Cosplay that I heard you mention a second ago.
Yes.
So I gotta say it, I'm sorry. In China, they have Mao Zedong. Here we got Mao Zedong.
Yes.
This absolute clown.
I know. Also, you don't get to dress like Mao Zedong when you have $2,000 glasses and completely unnecessary jewelry. You don't get to be like, look, by the way, I always say this, Casio keeps time just as well. You don't get to claim to be a socialist when you have rings and a necklace and an expensive watch. These are just like you can't claim to be an environmentalist if you have a fragrance. Completely unnecessary. You just want a few more bucks. That's it. You're a hypocrite, but not just a hypocrite. You don't believe what you're saying. That's, for me, the litmus test.
Actual grifter. Say, and you might think I'm extreme, I don't know, denaturalize and deport him and his uncle with the bestiality statements, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
I've got it saved. I got it saved. I saved because people tell me, no, it didn't happen. I have it saved. I have the clip. And I show it periodically.
They're also
it's champagne socialism is what we call it, right? It's a champagne. And again, I'm a normie, right, when it comes to the political space. I can't give you an analysis of the political policies. I don't have an understanding of economics, although arguably neither do socialists.
I know what their political policies are. Think about anything that Satan would like.
The reality is that this guy doesn't deserve to be in this great country.
No, he doesn't.
That's what I think. And I don't understand how he gets away with it. That's for lawyers. I don't know how he gets away with it.
Because conservatives are a bunch of pussies and they're worried about war.
Well, he'd be happy in China, don't you think?
Because war directly affects their bank accounts.
He claims he would be.
He's wearing he literally Mao Zedong outfit, which, by the way, was not cheap, I'm sure.
No, it was not cheap. That's a Chanel Mao.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Chanel Mao. I will say, though,
Dolce and Zedong.
Yeah, Dolce and Zedong. I will say, he actually is a good example to point to because you go, how is he allowed? Okay, now you understand academia and the media in our institution. These people have been allowed. And the reason is because no one on the right has a stomach for it because we don't want to be accused of being a Mussolini. We don't want to be accused of being a fascist. If we say, you're not allowed to be here because you hate our country and you seek to destroy it. If you denaturalize, deport them, people go, see, you're just like insert fascist here.
I don't care.
No. It's not.
Call me a fascist. I don't give a fuck. I'll be a fascist. You want me to be a fascist? I'll go harder.
You hate this country and you support our enemies. You should go live amongst the enemy. And this
absolutely.
Yeah, if that's fascism, then I'm a fascist.
It brings me to another one because we'll get to we can't not talk about the Odyssey. AOC said that woke 1.0 was so crazy, like oh yeah, we went too far.
Yeah.
Which means there's woke 2.0. And you cover film things like this quite a bit. I mean, I watch your stuff all the time. Are you seeing that play out? Meaning, the way I see it is a more subtle version of subversion, woke 2.0. And what do you make of the Odyssey and what happened?
Okay, so when it comes to the Odyssey, and I did a double take because I had to make sure I give you the right numbers. I made 71 videos on the Odyssey and Nolan and 300 tweets. So I may need professional help.
No. You're the professional. You help others.
Okay, great. But yeah, no. So what's happening is that they are using media, as you know, when it comes to our hobbies, whether it be video games, whether it be movies, whether it be, you name it.
Of course they are.
To push the message.
People who think that it's not happening are just fucking retarded. They're brain dead. Of course that they would be getting manipulated by the powers that be because that's what everybody's interested in. And they want absolute control over everybody's minds.
And I hate it because it's, politics, particularly the kind of left-wing radical nonsense that they push through these otherwise beautiful.
There's a reason why they want us dead, because these people buy into all this propaganda, and anybody who doesn't is just evil, and they must be eradicated. Get them out.
Fun things.
Get out all these people that think these things. Deport them all. I don't care if they're American. I don't care if their families have been here for generations.
It ruins it because hobbies unite and politics divides. So the two things are mutually exclusive. And when they infect, because that's what it is, leftism is a disease of the mind. And so when they infect stuff like this, they ruin it. And it pisses me off when, as a man from the Mediterranean, it pisses me off that they use something like Homer and they insult him for being misogynistic. I love that part, by the way, with Lupita Nyong'o, Spanakopita, Helen of Congo. This is what we got. No Helen of Troy, Helen of Congo. That's what we got. And she is complaining about how misogynist Homer is because he doesn't give enough screen time to women. And then
they think they're better than the original artists. That's what they did with Halo, the Halo D-Make. They thought they were better than the original problematic Bungie.
Yeah, what's his name? Christopher Nolan gives a 3-minute screen time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what are we even doing?
It's 3 minutes of Congo time. Yeah, it's better than nothing. But yeah, this whole thing is.
You're damn right. They're gonna push it through the media, though.
It's like, well, if I could talk with him, I'd say, why wouldn't you include women more? Have you read it? Have you read the original poem? Like, it's not really made for you, and that's okay. If you don't like it, remember the left used to say, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. Well, if you don't like the classics, don't read them.
Precisely, and in fact, but she admitted she didn't read it.
Right.
They don't care about this. Like,
she probably can't read.
All the people that paid to watch that movie, go fuck yourself, dude. You want to complain about how shitty the world is, yet you still buy GTA. You still pay to watch the Odyssey, sometimes multiple times. Oh, but it's to own the chuds. I hate data centers. I think we should destroy data centers. I'm going to give Comcast a whole bunch of money to watch this movie in IMAX multiple times so they can make more data centers. Make it make sense. These people are evil.
That's a possibility as well. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to the race swap, which is a major thing, they've been doing it. It's not like this is an isolated example. They've been doing it for over a decade, which is part of woke.0, 1. Whatever the heck they're calling it.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to stop. They are going to, maybe now they feel a little bit that it doesn't really resonate with the audience when their audiences in voted blocks when they talk about defund the police, which, by the way, how does that even work? I don't even, maybe.
It doesn't.
Exactly. So maybe you can explain to me what these people are asking, because if it's anarchy with no law enforcement, they wouldn't last 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they're asking for. And
it's, what do you call it? Suicidal empathy. It's delusional. It's why they're working with the Muslims, even though the Muslim culture and their book is totally against the gays. So whenever they gain more power than the leftoids, they're going to kill all the leftoids first.
And they say, no, we didn't really mean it. They absolutely did. And places that defunded the police saw the highest spike, ironically, in black homicide, right?
By the way, I just saw a video where a group of Muslims fought a group of trans people. It's starting to break down, ladies and gentlemen.
Homicide victims of anywhere else in the country. So this is what they did. They quietly started refunding the police. But the original proposal was self-policing and sending in social work. And what that really means when you understand that they are socialist, right? And they say, we're also going to remove people's guns.
Self-policing. You mean mob rule. That's what you mean.
Also going to redistribute wealth. It means they will have a military. They will have an armed enforcement mechanism, and there will be no more local police forces. So it's really scary and sinister when you look at the whole plan. And by the way, this is on the DSA's own website. So it's not like we're just pulling this out of nowhere. I do want to continue and ask about your experiences in Europe, Japan versus the United States. But before we go, what would you say, as someone who's taught history, people need to be most aware of and look for? Because a lot of people are going, okay, I can't tell the difference between propaganda and what's accurate out there anymore. Do you have kind of some guidelines for folks like that, in addition to your channel, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would like to say, and this is an answer based on history, ancient and modern, don't give up. And the reason why I say that is look at Europe now, which really, really kills me inside as a European.
A guy got threatened by Take-Two in the UK.
To see what's happening there. And when you look at, for example, the UK, and someone like Sir Keir Starmer, peace may never be upon him, in the United Caliphate. Look at what he did. He gave they have no guns. They can't even carry, a British citizen can't even carry a pepper spray.
You can't even go buy a baseball bat wrapped in plastic from a store without getting arrested. Something that they actually sell in a store. You walk outside with that bat wrapped in plastic, arrested.
Right.
But this guy is giving an exception to the Sikh, I think it's pronounced, to carry swords. What do they do? They introduce the business end of that blade to someone, Henry Novak, unfortunately. He gets killed. What does this guy do, the traitor of the West? He doubles down. He's not going to remove the exception. So now foreigners have the ability to carry weapons, a dagger, whatever you want to call it, but native citizens don't. What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, that subverts the actual system.
Well, obviously, they want these people in their country, and they don't like the people that are against them. So if they don't allow them to have guns and they let in the people that they do like and allow them to have weapons because it's part of their religion, it's part of their culture, they're going to kill you. and then that's all that's left. But they don't realize because they're too fucking stupid and they're too worried about the now instead of the future. They're going to get killed by these same people.
But I mean, as far as like people consuming content, because it is tough. That's why what we try and do is we make all the references available every show. So if we make any factual claim, we can be fact checked, and we browbeat ourselves, admonish ourselves. What would you say to the average person out there? It's like, look, I don't have this much time to invest in education or politics, but I feel like I'm often being hit with propaganda. Are there some good kind of tells for them to look for?
Yes. For example, I would look for buzzwords. If you look at the website, official website of the University of Waterloo in Canada, I've covered it multiple times on the channel. They have this entire language guideline system because language control is part of propagandistic system. It's always been. And so when they start telling you that, for example, you can't say foreigner, you have to say international person. By the way, I'm an alien.
Language control is very easy to use against the left. That's why whenever you piss off the left, they all call you the same thing. They all just call you an incel. They all simultaneously call you a Nazi.
Alien, call me alien all you want. I love it. Alien from deeper space.
They're easy to manipulate.
They hate that word. They say that you can't say minorities. You have to say equity deserving groups. One, why do they always make it longer? Two, the reason
George
why they
Carlin
wanted to
had a
say
joke
that is
about
because
that.
That way you spread the message whether you believe it or not if you swap the language. They've done that with man, female, black. They change everything. Black capitalized, white lowercase. That's on the official website. It's absolutely insane. So when they look at as a scapegoat, when they want to do this collective guilt and they make it racial with white people, when they say the cause is white supremacy, they said white supremacy, red flag. Like, we need to start using these as red flags.
Yes.
Like every time.
That's a very good point.
Right?
We did the same thing. If
That's what
someone
I do.
unironically writes Latinx, or if they say cis, I go right away, that's an asshole. And it's funny that you mentioned alien every time, because my mom is Canadian, my dad is American, we travel back and forth, and every time we'd go...
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, well, exactly. I believe me. No one hates Canada more than her. She wants us to take over Canada. We'd go through to Plattsburgh, New York, or Champlain, New York, and they'd say, okay, country, your residents, and my dad would go, we have 3 Americans and one green card here, 1 resident green card holder. And my mom would turn to the border security and she would go, beep, beep, like an alien. I'd go, Mom, do you stop doing the beep, beep joke? But she had no problem with it. All right, I want to ask you a few more, but it's Metatron, YT on, we're going to have this in the lower third, and Pure Metatron on X. We're going to continue here on Rumble Premium if you got a little bit more time.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And I'm so glad to have you here. My brother and I have watched it. We're like, have you seen this thing? We're like, yeah, it's bullshit. Cleopatra wasn't black, but she was a whore. You've got to go watch more videos.
Yeah, I love me some Metatron. I watch him almost daily. I follow him on X. You should definitely go and follow him on everything because dude is fucking awesome.
So according to Puck News, there are apparently 7 possible new Marvel Disney Plus live action series
Wonderful.
that could be
They're definitely not going to flop.
coming out. Now that's weird, in fact, because at D23, the only one that was announced was Vision Quest, which they're calling it the end of the trilogy, the end of the Wanda trilogy, and all of that kind of begs the question, why would they be doing that when it seems like in every respect the studio is moving away from relying on Disney Plus as a means of their content out there?
Probably because they already had it in the works and it's too far along, so they have to do it now. There's probably a bunch of contracts and shit. They're fucked. This is what happens with corporate bureaucracy.
Because it just doesn't have the cultural relevance that putting the movies, putting things in theaters.
Maybe they're banking on Doomsday bringing people back to Marvel, and it's not going to work.
Does for them. And I kind of have my own beliefs on why I think it won't work, even if you flood the zone with 7 new shows. Obviously, Bob Iger, before his exit, spoke about the need to cut back on focusing on output and focus more on quality. And I think that rings true for a lot of people. And I still do believe that superhero fatigue is a thing. I don't believe that the success of Spider-Man or Avengers Doomsday is necessarily indicative of people suddenly loving superheroes again. I think it simply means that
Dude, I fucking hate that people, they get tricked. They get tricked into paying for all this shit, and they think that Spider-Man Brand New Day is a good movie because it's the best Marvel movie in a long time. So people went out in droves to see it. Eat up the goy slop, piggies. You are just paying for them to keep in shitifying the culture. They are not back.
Avengers characters like Steve Rogers, Thor, and all of them, they're kind of grandfathered in, and people have interest there because they're very well known. And obviously, Spider-Man is universally beloved and omnipresent in the culture.
I love Spider-Man. I want them to fucking be done with Spider-Man. I hate Tom Holland Spider-Man.
So
I thought Brand New Day was all right. I had a lot of issues with it. It's one of the worst Spider-Man movies. Unfortunately, one of the best Marvel movies.
Look back at what they were doing, and we'll get into all of this, but let's just go through what they were doing at Disney when they flooded the zone, and that really is what they were doing from 21 to 24. So in 2021, they released WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki Season 1, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If Season 1. In 2022, you got Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, I Am Groot, She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night. I'm adding in some of the animated there
those.
as well, obviously with all that stuff. 2023, this when they started cutting back. You had Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, What If Season 2. 2024, you had Echo, X-Men 97, Agatha All Along, Season 3.
X-Men 97 did pretty good. I tried watching it. I didn't like it. It looked too modern.
25, you get stuff like Daredevil Born Again, which did not manage to really impress with people the way they wanted it to. And I think in a lot of ways, knowing that it was going to be made...
Because it's too safe. It's too corporate. It's too uninteresting. It seems like it's made just to be made for the sake of it existing.
By Disney, it was always set up for failure because it was never going to reach the levels of success that you got with Netflix Daredevil. And that kind of, you look at all of those shows and you think about how Marvel Netflix started to feel crowded by the time you got to Iron Fist and Danny Rand and then Defenders, right? You go from Daredevil to Jessica Jones to Luke Cage to by the end of it, it did feel like you were starting to get kind of bombarded with stuff and the world felt more crowded perhaps than it needed to be. And as the shows went on, shows like Iron Fist were the proof that they had that they weren't necessarily going to be able to keep up that quality that they really mastered with Daredevil Season 1.
I don't even know what Iron Fist is.
And
I know about Iron Heart.
Daredevil Born Again underperformed. Wonder Man, which I loved, thought was absolutely fantastic, was great, but the viewers that they wanted.
Are we going to talk about Madam Web? That's my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I love how people were trying to tell me how good it was before that movie came out, and when it was out and people were going to theaters, like, I absolutely loved this movie.
Originally, they were going to do a season 2. They ended up canceling that. So I guess let's go through the article here a little bit and draw our conclusions.
You don't like Madam Web just because you're a sexist. You're misogynist.
So it says, according to Puck News, Marvel is actively developing multiple live-action Disney Plus streaming service, although specific projects remain unknown. Announcements could arrive in the near future.
I think they're going to cancel them. It'd be funny if they're all white-led shows and they canceled all the black shows.
The report follows a surprisingly quiet D23 where Marvel did not reveal any new live-action Disney Plus shows. The studio instead focused its attention on theatrical projects Avengers Doomsday and the upcoming X-Men reboot. That's where you got the Navarrete.
Dude, I am not looking forward to that X-Men reboot, but I am at the same time. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm definitely going to watch the conversations online. I'm going to see what Nerdrotic has to say, Friday Night Tights. I'm going to see what Critical Drinker has to say, what Asmongold has to say.
Announcement and
Pop
all
Culture
of the
Crisis
there, the cast list, stuff like that. Vision Quest, which has been described as the final chapter of the WandaVision trilogy, was the only new live-action series prominent event. It premieres on October 14th. The new report appears to contradict previous claims that Marvel is winding down.
Why does that shot have the same lighting and colors as the Odyssey right there? And Fable, the video game. Dude, it's all like trying to look realistic, and I hate it. These are comic book movies, man. I don't want them to look realistic. I want them to feel like comic books.
Down its live-action television operation, or Vision Quest. However, the two accounts may not be entirely incompatible. On August 14th, Collider reported that Marvel Studios was cutting back on live-action Disney Plus shows. However, it noted the possibility of Marvel miniseries and specials, like this year's Punisher One Last Kill, being released under the Marvel Presents and the Marvel Spotlight banners. One Last Kill was fine. I thought it didn't make the best use of its time. As much violence as you got in there, I would still go back and watch Punisher Warzone and be like, that's the schlock that
I'm probably going to be watching that again very, very soon. It's been so long since I watched it, and I loved it when I watched the original Punisher stuff. In playing the original Punisher game, ooh, buddy.
So it looks like Nicolas Hoult is out as Gilderoy Lockhart in Harry Potter, and instead it's going to be Kit Harington. Now, I think...
Good for him. Good for him for not being part of this absolute disaster.
Nicolas Hoult would have been amazing as Lockhart, but I think he's leaving because of the backlash. They're saying it's because of a quote-unquote scheduling conflict. I'm like, no, they made a big deal about him joining the cast, and then, of course, we had the usual suspects attacking him for daring to join the cast of Harry Potter. There were some threats and disappointment.
Why would they at all pander to the trans audience who hates them?
And you know the drill. You know how...
It's so weird. Like, the LGBTQ plus community fucking hates Harry Potter, yet they're still trying to pander to that audience. It just makes no fucking sense to me.
Anybody that's associated with the Harry Potter brand at this point is going to get backlash from a certain vocal minority on social media. And, he probably just didn't want to deal with it. If I'm being honest, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I would want to deal with it. I'd be like, you know what? I like Harry Potter, but do I really want threats? Do I really want the headaches of having to defend myself every time there's an interview? Do I really want to have to sit here and make excuses for J.K. Rowling's opinions or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Take those questions that really I don't give a shit about one or the other. I'm just here for paycheck. It probably gets old after a while. Now, Harry Potter is very, very uncanceled. I mean, you go to any grocery store, you go to Walmart, you're going to see more Harry Potter stuff than you have seen probably in 20 years as they get closer to this HBO reboot.
Yeah, because online, it's a bunch of fake fucks. They're all fake. The conversation around it is fake. All the people that hate on Harry Potter didn't like Harry Potter in the first place.
Look, I don't know how good or bad it's going to be.
The leftoids that like Harry Potter, they didn't even really like Harry Potter. They just liked the fandom online.
But anytime anybody has anything to do with this franchise, again, you've got Blue Sky and Instagram and all these very, very quote-unquote woke outlets taking issue with J.K. Rowling, turning the conversation to her opinions on trans people and gender equality and all that stuff. And it would be hard. It would be hard to deal with, right? So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Hey, if you'd like more Clownfish TV, we're ramping up the website over at clownfishtv.com. We're actually moving the more.clownfishtv.com to the website, and we're moving a lot of stuff around regarding our websites because Google...
I follow this website. I got it bookmarked. I look at it every single day.
Google has basically destroyed the internet, and I don't see the point in paying to host a bunch of websites that frankly aren't getting enough traffic to justify it, because it's just Google has destroyed the internet, right? So go out to clownfishtv.com. You can check out all of our podcasts over there. We've got some paywalled content. We're going to be doing more with that.
I'm going to open up myself a website very, very soon.
And trying to get a schedule here. We're probably going to bring live streams back, but we're going to do them over there instead of on YouTube, because YouTube, again, does not like to promote live streams very much. I don't think they do anything to promote live streams. They'll gladly take a 30% cut of your super chats, but they don't want to actually promote the live stream, which is why you have to have that time. And I never know. I never know when we're going to have time to live stream. So anyway, go out to clownfishtv.com, sign up. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up to be notified. Thanks so much for that. Let's go out to Blue Sky, and this is how I'm going to speculate. This is why I'm speculating, rather, that Nicolas Hoult chose to walk away from this rather than deal with the mess that is the Harry Potter antis. This is Gretchen Felker Martin. Gretchen Felker Martin, if the name is familiar, that's the person that was making the comments about Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk died, got assassinated, making comments delighting in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And now Gretchen Felker Martin is saying, crushed to learn Nicolas Hoult has exploded on the set of Superman and died and is now dead.
What?
Yeah, there we go. At least they're consistent, right? Well, fuck Nicolas Hoult, I guess. Then James Gunn says, happy birthday to the nicest supervillain. Actually, I like Nicolas. I think he seems like a pretty solid guy. But yeah, they're not real happy.
I liked Nicolas Hoult as an actor whenever he was a kid.
Be with him. Let's see what the latest here is. Nicolas Hoult leaving HP immediately is so funny. They said Kit Harington is joining the cast. We'll talk more about that. Nicolas Hoult backed out over a scheduling issue. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, it's backlash. Harry Potter, Kit Harington replaces Nicolas Hoult.
I'm surprised they didn't make him an Indian or something.
I think it's okay. This person says, I think it's okay for a fairly busy non-online person like Hoult to not be aware of Rolling's deal because it doesn't get covered in the mainstream press. If he signed on, somebody clued him in to how much Rolling sucks and he backed out.
I don't think that's why he backed out.
That would be cool. We can only speculate. There may be scheduling conflicts. No. I think he
doesn't like you people.
He decided he didn't want to deal with it. Brilliant. He absolutely kills it in the full cast audiobook. So yeah, Kit Harington, I guess, plays Lockhart in the audiobook. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Jeremy Hot Wheels. Hey, congratulations. You got that part in the new Harry Potter show. Oh, wow. I thought Nicolas Hoult got in. Oh, yeah, but he dropped out. Why? ... Why? Yeah, why indeed? Blue sky. I'd love to think Hoult was bullied out of. We love him so much. We love this guy so much. We hope he's getting bullied. Nicolas Hoult deciding he didn't want any of that smoke. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he's just like, I don't want to deal with this shit.
1,000%.
Hoult.
There are some real people on Blue Sky. I am secretly on Blue Sky because I watch. I like to watch to see what everybody's saying, and it's absolute insanity over there. But in between the cracks, you find some based people who somehow didn't get banned yet.
Crew, we are so back. I miss Nicolas Hoult choosing to Nicolas Hoult on this job. Someone got Hoult in a headlock, I guess, but something winter is coming for Kit Harington. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I really hope to God that these people stay away from the kids working on this. Like, you can have your opinions about J.K. Rowling. You can choose not to watch this show for whatever reason.
I guarantee you they're going to be doing the Shadman thing where they're going to be showing these kids in very, very fucked up situations in the in quotes, fan art.
I do think a lot of people are going to choose. Well, yeah, I say that. Watch it be like the biggest thing ever on HBO. I thought Lanterns was going to maybe crash and burn, and it's doing like super good. So like,
yeah, because it's straight up boring goy slop. Dude, if you pay to watch any of this shit, you deserve the culture that we're in. You want to complain about how everything sucks? Well, you're the fucking problem.
Like, people might just freaking love this just because it's Harry Potter. There's so many reasons to not be interested.
I'm gonna watch it, but guess what? I ain't fucking paying for it. Oh, I can't whistle. It doesn't pick it up on the microphone. Damn it. No. Yo ho, yo ho.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't think bullying actors who are just taking a gig is the way to go. This ain't it. Because what's going to happen, and this is like what happened with a lot of that people working in the animation industry too, is they're not going to do these projects. They're not going to take that work. They're not going to listen to you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're not going to listen to you because they're going to be like, I don't want to deal with this situation. I'm not going to do any more animation. I'm not going to go anywhere near the animation industry. I'm not going to work on certain franchises because the fandom is insane.
Working on HBO's Harry Potter is kind of just, it seems like an L to me because you're in the wokest piece of Harry Potter media. So like the chuds hate it and the trans community hates it because of J.K. Rowling. There's just no winning.
See also Dee Dee from Steven Universe, and the Mickey Mouse Club. She's getting all kinds of crap now too.
I covered that
because Steven Universe, the fandom there is like just gone off the rails. So let's
and they deserve it. They deserve all of the bad feelings that they have to deal with. They're being murdered because of these choices that people make in their personal lives that have nothing to do with them. It's murdering people. Trans kids' lives are at stake because of online conversations.
So the story here, the official reason is scheduling. I don't think. Deadline says exclusive Game of Thrones star Kit Harington is joining another tentpole fantasy series for HBO. He's going to play Gilderoy Lockhart in season 2. Harington replaces Nicolas Hoult, who was originally cast in the role but left over scheduling issues. This is only like a week after he was announced. I don't think that's what's going on.
I saw it 2 days ago that he was going to be in it. That was fucking quick.
At all. I think it's like, oh shit, I didn't know this was going to be that big of a deal. HBO had to work around 2 pre-existing Hoult projects when filming the Gilderoy Lockhart scenes. They said it was no longer feasible, and the Superman actor was let out of his deal. I think that there may be some truth to that, but I don't think I personally don't.
It's never the whole story. They're not going to tell you what actually happened from a corporation.
Recasting, Harrington's going to portray a character he's already played. He voiced Gilderoy Lockhart in the star-studded Harry Potter, the full cast audio edition released late last year. And they were bullying people. Oh my God. All the actors that worked on that too, they were going after. Like anybody that has anything to do with Harry Potter. It's like, you do realize, like, if you go to Universal theme parks, even if you don't go to Harry Potter Land, you don't go to the Wizarding World, that she's still getting paid, right? You know this, right? You go to Walmart. Walmart carries a lot of Harry Potter stuff. You go to, my God, all these restaurants that are doing Harry Potter tie-ins, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. I think as we get closer to this series dropping, there really is no way to avoid everything Harry Potter. She can't go broke. You don't have to agree with her.
And she also has some other stuff that she does not at J.K. Rowling. She's got a, what do you call it? A ghost name?
There's no scenario.
Pseudonym. There we go.
In which J.K. Rowling is going to go broke unless the entire world economy collapses. Because you get to a point with money where you've got so much money, unless you're snorting it all up your nose and just like you can't possibly spend it all.
Yeah, she's just doing things for fun now.
Because your money just makes more money, right? That's the place she's at right now. When you get to be like a billionaire or something, like your money is just going to keep making money. It's you just leave it parked in an account somewhere. You invest it. It's just going to make money passively. And that's just how it works. So sorry, she's never going to go broke. She's never going to go broke. In a featurette released by Audible at the time, Harrington spoke of his fondness for the Harry Potter book in his childhood. I read it, and like so many generations, I was entranced, and then was a huge fan all through my teenage years. Lockhart is a major character in the second book. He was Kenneth Branagh, and I think he was real.
Wait, second book. He's going to be in the second season. Are they doing a book per season? How old are these kids going to be by the time this finishes? I don't think they're going to finish it. I think they're going to do a few seasons. They're not going to get all the way to the end.
He's notoriously vain, boastful, and fame-obsessed, and apparently based on J.K. Rowling's ex-husband, I guess. There's a little bit of Gilderoy in all of us, Harrington said at the same featurette, and they're not mentioning the backlash. That's why I'm mentioning the backlash. I think 100% this is what happened. Yet Nicolas Hoult couldn't possibly have known what his schedule would be like when he was announced for the role 2 weeks ago. Who among us has that kind of foresight? Yes, exactly. Bullshit. He backed out. As a 20-plus year Nicolas Hoult lover, this makes my life so much easier.
Or he's still involved with DC, and they just made a whole bunch of changes at DC. The schedules could have shifted. And you think about it, do you want to be part of the HBO Harry Potter thing that's going to be absolutely destroyed by all sides because nobody wants this? It's made for nobody. Or are you going to work with DC that's still kind of successful with multiple properties and multiple ties to other possible movie deals that they could do?
Nicolas Hoult. Hey guys, guess who just got yelled at? Nicolas Hoult has left the series due to scheduling conflicts. Smart move. He's not going to say he left because he got bullied. He's not going to say he left because he doesn't want to deal with all the drama. He's just going to be like, you know what? I can't do it.
Or he showed up on set and was like, holy shit. All these people are fucking freaks.
Pass.
It's all blue-haired fat women.
I can't do it. I'm too busy, guys. I've got
in their 40s
brunch at McDonald's or something I got to do that day. Holt realizing he fucked up only for another actor to immediately step on the rake is very funny. Well, he's already stepped on the rake. I guess Kit Harington.
He probably realized that all of this screaming and all the backlash doesn't actually affect anything.
Already figured he's taking his lumps already. Good on Nicolas Hoult, but boo, Kit Harington, boo. Well, he's already done. And I don't agree with, like, look, again, I want to.
If the backlash from the chuds isn't doing anything, then your little backlash from the trans community isn't going to do anything.
Reiterate, you don't have to like J.K. Rowling. You don't have to like her opinions, whatever. That's entirely up to you. You support who you want to support. You don't.
As long as her opinions or dumbass opinions don't make it into the product that she's making, I'm fine with it. Which, unfortunately, this Harry Potter TV series definitely has that. So I'll be watching it for the laughs, and just so I'll have something to talk about with it, because I'm such a big Harry Potter fan. I've played literally every single Harry Potter video game ever made, seen all the movies, read all the books. I haven't got to the audiobooks yet, but I will eventually.
Don't support who you don't want to support. I get it. Attacking people, bullying people, I don't think it's cool, and I definitely don't think it's cool.
I think it's cool.
The one game company we covered a couple of months
I like bullying
ago did the card game, and it was a smaller game company, and they got the Harry Potter license, and they were super excited about it. And they actually released Harry Potter games before, and they were basically bullied by the media and bullied by Blue Sky. Just don't buy it, right?
Grow some balls.
But again, what's going to happen is people are just going to...
All these people screaming about your product aren't your fan base anyway.
Look at the Harry Potter antis, and they're going to be like, you guys are batshit. We're never going to listen to a damn thing you ever say ever. And I really do believe 100% the reason we're seeing a resurgence in Harry Potter is because of the backlash to J.K. Rowling.
Yep. That's why I'm so interested in it now. I fell off of the Harry Potter, in quotes, fandom just before Hogwarts Legacy got announced. And then Hogwarts Legacy got announced, and everybody was talking about how shit J.K. Rowling was, and I was like, this game might be pretty good. And it was. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good.
Because the backlash to J.K. Rowling led to higher sales of Hogwarts Legacy. Like, Harry Potter was a dying franchise. I mean, it was okay, but it was kind of like in a Star Wars place where it was like, it was still popular. It wasn't as popular as it was. And the new movies didn't resonate with people like the originals did, right?
I forgot about those movies.
And then the J.K. Rowling drama happened. And
bro, I got onto those movies. I watched the first two of the, what are they called? Wizards of Waverly Place. Fuck, I forgot what it was called anyway. Yeah, and they were garbage. They were mid as fuck.
Then people took it to an unbelievable level.
And they got the dude from Balls of Fury. As soon as I saw that guy, I immediately recognized him from Balls of Fury, and I was like, well, I'm taken out of this.
And they threw these temper tantrums, and she just got bigger and bigger. And now all of a sudden you had the people that, this is so weird, you had the people that tried to cancel J.K. Rowling before. You had like all these conservatives and these Christian people that tried to cancel her books 20, 30 years ago. And I remember that, like these Catholic libraries and stuff, they were banning J.K.
Yeah, now that everything's gotten so bad, they've realized, oh, it wasn't that bad and had a lot of Christian values in there compared to everything else we're getting today.
Rowling because of witchcraft. They had like little Jack Chick tracks. Harry Potter's promoting witchcraft. Now all these people love J.K. Rowling. It's very weird. It's very weird to see. But I really do think the backlash and the temper tantrums help this series get made.
Yeah, if the evil people don't like you, then the people who are against evil are probably going to end up liking you because of that.
Because that's what HBO was looking at. That's what Warner Brothers was looking at. They're like, hey, Hogwarts Legacy sold metric tons because of the boycotts. Now we're going to greenlight another Harry Potter series. No, it's got to be actual Harry Potter. It can't be like knockoff Harry Potter or stories in and around the Harry Potter universe because nobody gives a shit about those. Nobody gave a shit about Fantastic Beasts. No, it has to be actual
Fantastic Beasts.
Harry
That's
Potter.
what it was.
So let's just do Harry Potter again. They should have just called it that. Harry Potter.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's a dumbass name.
Potter again. They should do it like End of Evangelion and Rebuild of Evangelion and just be like, they could use the time turner or something. They could just be like, yeah, we're just going to go back and retcon Harry Potter now using the time turner.
Bringing up End of Evangelion. Based in Neon Genesis is absolutely amazing. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. We're going to skip the body cam portion because I've run out of time. I went too long. We'll get better. I'll get better at the time management. Like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.